What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Up and Smoke Podcast.
Yes, sir.
I'm Brian.
Glenn.
And this is Dan.
And welcome back. We are excited to have everybody back today.
Indeed.
So, I know that we all have a lot of topics to discuss. Glenn, what's on your docket for this evening?
I got a bunch of real life questions, stuff that everybody deals with.
I know I got a lot of political questions with some serious tones towards the end. What about you?
I got some stuff based on video games, kind of the state of the game. Now,
that's our producer in the background fucking shit up already.
And as you can see off to the side of the camera here, we have Mike. Mike, why don't you wave everyone?
Everybody should thank Mike for the amazing camera we're using today.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Quality went up, didn't it?
Not bad for the second one, right?
No, not bad at all.
Spoiler alert, they were using a webcam before. Just saying.
Thank you for blowing our secrets.
Yeah.
We also have a couple people we want to thank for tonight. We want to thank our buddy Julian for the bottle of wine today. We're going to crack that open very soon. We also want to thank Pete for the cigar suggestion.
Yeah.
He's also one of Glenn and I's co-worker.
Shout out, Pete.
And, of course, we have to thank Cassandra, again, one of our co-workers, for our amazing new logo. It is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and you will see it scattered throughout. I updated almost everything yesterday, and we are officially on Twitter, too.
Yes. Merch coming soon.
Yes. As you might have read in the section below, we are on the road to 100.
Yes.
That being said, our 100 subscriber, I think we all agreed that we're going to throw you some merch and a mystery surprise.
Yeah, something that you guys are going to like. Maybe something from the show, maybe something random. But good nonetheless. So
tune in, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. All right, let's crack this bottle open. Dan, why don't you pour us a little glass?
All righty.
Again, thank you, Julian. We're excited to try this. What do we got there? It's who's it tonight?
It is a Los Heraldos Gran Corte.
All right, remind you, never ask Dan to say anything in Spanish.
That is 100% accurate.
Sound good to me.
I guess, see, he's a Neanderthal. I'm going to use the aerator on mine.
Of course, me too.
That
way we don't have to let it air out. Dan, you got to let that sit for like 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Why do you gotta buy shit that's complicated? That's what I don't understand.
Why gotta
that's
buy
Glenn for you.
Stuff and not know how to use it.
Right.
It's because I don't like to learn. All right, here we go. Let's see. Hopefully, I don't spill today.
I'll tell you one thing. It smells really good.
Has a fruity smell to it.
It does.
That's for you, sir.
Give me this bottle, man.
And that's for you, sir.
Thank you.
Because we're cultured. We're
Don't
cultured.
worry.
All right. Oh, it does smell really nice. We
So
were.
now that the glasses are all poured, I can tell you this. You see that part at the bottom why it's different?
Mm-hmm.
That goes in the neck of the bottle, so that way you pour it out the top.
Come on, Brian.
I guess we're not as cultured as we thought we were. Well, shit.
Well, I never agreed to it, so.
It was, the funny thing is that you brought it.
Never said I used it.
He's got a point.
Well, you brought it. I thought you knew how to use your own shit.
My dad donated that.
Well, you should smack him upside the head next time you see him, Glenn.
Make sure it's a white glove when you do it also.
Yeah, because that's what he likes to hit me in the face with at work.
That's a brown glove.
It's a glove nonetheless. That's why I take out a $1 bill and I smack you with what you're worth.
Money's money. Money's money.
All right, gentlemen, shall we toast again to podcast number 2?
Yes.
Absolutely.
To health.
Yes.
And to goodwill towards everybody.
Health, wealth, and success.
Except terrorists.
Yes.
Of course, Mike was the last edition here, so he doesn't have shit. So, get fucked, yeah.
We may be clipping that phrase at some point.
Oh yeah. Those T-shirts are coming soon too.
Yeah, that'll probably end up in the merch store at some point also.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm dry till Friday anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So, should we get this thing started with the questions?
Well, first, I think we should talk about that wine though, because I thought that's pretty.
You know what? It has a nice body to it. Like it's not super dry and it's not too sweet.
No, it's not too bad at all. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did kind of like the 3-Finger Jack a little better because it's a little sweeter.
Yeah.
But that, still really good.
This is one of those where you sip it, it's like, whoa, and then it mellows out. But
Yeah,
you think it's going to be dry at first.
It reminds me of like a really good scotch.
Yeah.
So it hits you right off the bat, and it kind of mellows itself out.
You have to go through a lot of bottles to try to find like a really nice red wine. The red wine is typically dry anyway.
Now, I will say this. The way the flavor is and everything, the way it just mellows out, be perfect with any kind of food.
Right.
Yeah.
This is more of just an actual wine.
Like when I taste this, I would automatically think of a nice steak.
Mm-hmm.
Nice steak, some
Nice
broccoli.
porterhouse,
Glenn,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you do that with anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Yeah. You can't go wrong with a good steak.
all right. So now let's get to your opening statements here. What's your first question and topic for us?
Oh, this is going to be a good one right here.
I got it.
So, kiss my ass, man. All right. What do you guys think makes a marriage work?
Well, I've only been in a failed marriage, so I guess I'm not really the best to answer that. But I could tell you what makes a marriage fall apart.
That works.
Trust. You have to have trust. Without that, you ain't got nothing. At least in my opinion.
So when you say trust, as far as what, like between each other, or like what the actions are?
I mean, like what I've looked up and what I've read in the past is most marriages fail because of money. Money comes and goes.
All right.
It's trust. If you don't feel like you can trust your partner 100%, then you ain't got nothing to go on.
So even something that sounds like it's impossible to be true.
Like what? Give me an example.
Your phone was off for 4 hours dead, although you have a car charger in the car. You're not answering your phone, no location, nothing.
She don't trust you.
I don't know, Glenn. Every time we try to call you at night, you don't answer.
That's true.
Well, you guys can't trust me.
That's very true.
You're also not married to him.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you
Got a point.
I knew this guy liked me.
Whoa. I never said that.
It was the shirt. His favorite color is purple, and yes, this is purple.
No, it's not.
Red.
It's pink at best.
What color is this shirt? Tell me in the chat what color this shirt is. I'm saying it's a form of purple. These guys are saying red.
I'm saying pink, actually.
It was nice seeing you guys today.
But yeah, that's just my opinion. I mean, my marriage only lasted about a year, and there was just zero trust.
Well, you know what they say. Most failed marriages usually end within the first year. That's where your biggest problems are. But the thing with a marriage is going from dating to a marriage. It's not much different, but what alters that and makes it become it?
It's something changes.
The title.
I don't know what it is.
Most people
Honestly,
make a
I've
marriage
never-
a title.
I've never been in that shoes.
You ever thought about getting married or in the future?
In the future, yeah. Just never has come across.
And I think it gets more complicated if you have kids involved too, honestly.
I could see that.
I think in order to be married to a person, love is not really the main factor. You have to like the person you're with.
Yeah.
You have to actually like them as a person in order to love them. You can't you can have love for someone, but actually liking them is like that. That's the cake. The icing is going to be the love.
Yeah.
That's the
I
biggest
agree
thing.
with that. It's a good haiku.
Hey, I do what I can do.
It's not a haiku though. I don't know, Dan. I mean, you were saying that you really don't have much experience with it, but what's your opinion?
Base
don't
yours
have much
off of
experience.
a relationship, like one of your longest relationships. What made that relationship last that long, and what made it end?
You know what? At the end of the day, I will agree with you on that aspect. You have to be literally best friends first.
Right.
Know each other inside and out.
Right.
Don't rush to things.
Right.
At the end of the day, if you are friends, but there's certain things you disagree with, if you can't get along with each other's disagreement, it's just not going to work out.
Right.
What do you think, Mike? Since you're the guest,
Yeah.
the spontaneous guest.
If this is a good answer, you can have some of my wine.
Nobody wants your
I think
backwash
above all
wine.
else, you want somebody that you can spend time with. If it's somebody that you can't spend time with, that you can't appreciate being around.
Well, I mean,
you can
you're
like them, but you
in
can
a
love them, you can do all that stuff. But if you can't tolerate being around them, just as a personality difference, it's never gonna work.
well, you have something that all of us don't have, which is a long distance relationship.
Yes, I do.
How is that difficult?
It throws.
I don't know. I've never been in one.
So it definitely throws a different perspective on things. traditional relationships, you're spending, at the early stage at least, you're spending those, couple nights a week together for several hours in person. There's a bit of an additional strain going on when it's actually long distance, because that couple hours that you would have physically with each other suddenly isn't enough.
Right.
And it comes down to a lot more clear communication, and a lot more trust is required, which is really hard at the beginning stages when you don't really know if you can trust them or anything yet.
Mm-hmm. You know what else I would have to throw in on that too? It also comes down to you're talking via text usually,
right.
over the phone. You can say something in a text and mean something completely
right.
different.
Right.
You
exactly.
can't take it out of
That's
you can't
why,
agree with the context.
certain things aren't meant for text. If that comes also down to knowing the person. If you know this person might read this and take it to a whole nother direction, you're going to make a phone call. But the question I do have for you is this. Do you think you're rolling the dice, having a long distance relationship, planning on maybe moving in together, and then you seeing the flaws in that person, or that person seeing the flaws in you?
It is definitely a roll of dice, but at the same time, it's one of those things that'll take a little bit, in my opinion.
I think it's like a whole new honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
Everything's sweet.
Change.
Everything's sweet. I feel like this, though. As far as a relationship and a marriage, I feel like when you're in a relationship, you're doing everything to make that person happy. You're avoiding fights. When that first fight happens, it changes the dynamics of it.
You can have fights in long distance relationships.
Here's a big thing. Long distance. One thing I noticed is that there's a huge difference about it is most people have the honeymoon stage where they're seeing each other. It's all about the hugs and cuddles and whatever relationshipy stuff people do. You're skipping that and going straight to the conversation, getting to know the real personal stuff before you're even able to give the person a hug.
I actually think that's a good idea, and I like the fact that it kind of breaks the traditional mold of a relationship. It's interesting.
Now, speaking on a marriage, even a relationship, do you think that you have to try to make your marriage work or your relationship?
You shouldn't.
It should be no different than when you guys were dating or when you were talking.
No, there's always going to be changes. There's
going to be growth,
more so in the beginning.
But it shouldn't be to a point to where
you should be able to work fluid,
right,
as a team,
compromising,
not constantly, having to, stumble or try to one up somebody.
Right.
It's not about, it's nice to go out for fancy dinners and whatnot, but that's more in the dating time.
Right.
Now you're starting your nest.
Do you think that too much time together alters a marriage or relationship?
Yes. Absolutely. My opinion, I think so. Yeah.
You need that. You need that time away.
You do.
You can't miss somebody if you're with them all the time.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing is having your own time to forget about whatever dispute you might have had earlier, that kind of stuff. You definitely need that time. That's what I think.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree there, but I actually have a follow-up for you three.
Sure.
So how's that come into play now with COVID hitting and everyone being locked up, and suddenly now being able to be out again while still kind of being locked up? There's still that pseudo lockdown going on mentality.
It goes back to what you said about being able to be around that person constantly. A marriage and a relationship, it has to be your best female friend, your best male friend. In order for, like us, we can spend all the time together. Except me and you, bro.
It's bad enough I have to work with them.
Well, we got an hour in this thing, 2 hours. Oh, man.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
But yeah, it in all seriousness, it comes down to being able to consider that person being your best friend.
Right. But, I mean, yeah, people are still afraid of COVID, though. People are still afraid to get with, the whole 6 feet difference and all that stuff.
Right.
So I do think it's probably going to make finding a relationship harder.
Right.
Beyond that, I was thinking the relationship you're in being in. I'm referring to being cohabitating.
So you're in lockdown
you're
all the
always
time.
with them. Like you just mentioned that it's okay to have space. That sometimes you need space.
Right.
But what happens when you can't?
I guess you'll look like Bob. You might be mowing the lawn. You might be using your snowplow in the summertime.
Our coworker Bobby, he has love fascinations with that snowblower.
Oh man,
He has pictures of it like he would if it was his own son. So maybe that's what it's like. I don't know.
Is that when you're changing the spark plugs on your car 3 times a week?
Yeah. Bob's giving his snowblower and his lawnmower his oil changes like anytime he starts it up. He's doing
So
that.
maybe that's what it's like. You just go stir crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope not, but
I mean, with COVID and everything, you have to stay busy.
Yeah.
If you can't go out, that's when home projects get done. If you're not doing that, what really are you doing at home?
You're going to just start to argue.
Yeah.
Start to nitpick every flaw.
You know what I noticed?
Because you're frustrated.
You know what I noticed during this whole thing? How much screen time has actually been used by people. Playing games, doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
Absorbed in their own phones. I mean, I'm sure all of you have experienced this, especially this past year, that you look at the internet on your phone. It used to be fast. Now it's not.
Yeah.
Because everyone's on it.
Yeah. Between that and then movies, Netflix, this is who made money. Netflix, Hulu, all of those kind of programs, and companies that sold gloves and masks. Who ever thought a mask would really become...
you can't forget the 2A community in that too. I mean, gun prices just went...
Yeah.
Netflix's subscription went up by, what was it, $4 over the past year.
With the same movies.
I mean, now Disney Plus is putting out feature-length films.
Now, Glenn, your dad also commented too. He said you definitely have to get to know the person before you can even think about marriage. And it has to be mutual respect.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think with this whole aspect too of the screen, everything going on with COVID, that's a true testament to that.
Right.
And whether you want to get vaccinated or not, though, that's still your business.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm vaccinated. I know that you got COVID, so you only had to get one shot. You got vaccinated.
Yep.
So, if that makes people feel more comfortable around you, then that's your choice, though.
That's actually a conflict that I've been seeing in some relationships where it's one half of the relationship wants to get vaccinated and wants the other who doesn't.
I've seen it.
That puts an extra stress on there for sure right now.
So how do you compromise with something like that?
It's my thing. It's your body. It's your choice. I mean, it's no different than with anything else that is personal to your body.
Right.
Which is weird coming from a Republican who's supposed to be against abortion, but I'm pro-choice, just so everybody knows. It's your body. Who am I to make your choices for you?
Right.
All right. Well, Glenn, anything else?
What else you got? You got anything good? Anything actually good?
We're gonna step outside after this, Brian. This break, we're gonna come back a little bloody.
Come back with a shank right now.
Got a good one.
You sure?
I got a good one.
Positive.
I want you guys to answer this too. If you won the lotto today, what would be the first thing you buy?
An automatic slapper hand for your face.
Now,
$1 million, I'll let you slap me with that for free.
now, let me throw this out there. Why don't we have Mike answer that one first?
Okay.
First things first, annuity or lump sum?
I'm taking a lump sum because tomorrow's not promised.
You heard that, IRS, right?
Lump sum. Straight up lump sum.
You have to.
My money, I know they're taking more, but I can turn it into more.
Well, that is true.
Yep.
That's about playing your cards right. You can turn it into an investment. Rather than, yeah, I'm young, I can do that, but if I get hit by a car, what happens to all that money?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
history shows I'm more likely to get rid of a car if I win the lottery. Just saying.
Well,
So what was your first thing that you'd buy?
Honestly, first thing I would buy, I'd buy a laundromat.
That's not a bad idea.
Like I said, making the money work
It's a
for me.
guaranteed return
Right.
investment.
Right.
Guaranteed
And it's
return
cash.
investment. And oftentimes these things have an apartment above it, so I have a place to live too.
Exactly. So you'd be like a superintendent, pretty much.
well, not even just that. Most laundromats, there's nobody that's ever there.
And it's completely passive. I can go keep working my job, do whatever I want to do, let this thing run itself. All I gotta do is check it every couple days and fill it up. Maintenance and everything.
Yeah, little things, you know.
Now
going
my
on.
first fun purchase, my first thing I'd do for me, 6'4" Hemi.
6'4" Hemi. I know that just gave Dan a little rise in his trousers.
Get a rise in your Levi's.
I think that's the answer everyone
Well,
was really looking for.
see, the thing is too, he's halfway there. He just needs a motor.
I don't want to talk about
Elephant. Put a elephant in that
it.
Jeep.
I don't want to talk about it.
I think you should put a elephant in your Jeep.
Everyone want to raise their hands for elephant in that Jeep? Yep, that's pretty much it. Everyone's on board with that.
All right, good. So you guys are paying for it. Got it.
We didn't hit the lotto. You did. What you got, Dan?
All right, so for me, I'm definitely taking lump sum.
And then
Like-
he'd be giving me my elephant.
Maybe. But no, honestly, what you could do too, there's a rule in accounting where X amount of money in a bank at X interest, X amount of time, you've doubled what you've gained.
Right.
And I could do some basic calculations depending on how much the lottery is. Even if you take lump sum and they take half, you can just throw it in the bank and live off the interest.
Right.
And at that point, that's guaranteed income on a monthly basis that will never go away.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. I'm taking an annuity.
I knew you were going to be the one to do that.
I am. I'm just going to pay my taxes on it, so I don't have the IRS knocking. Look, it's bad enough that the ATF wants to come after us gun owners. I don't need another government agency coming after us.
The smoker who does gun stuff gets the annuity. Got it. Okay.
Gets the annuity.
Ooh, Alex said, lump sum, invest half in silver and gold. Very good point.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Diamonds.
Very good point. I agree with Mike, though. Definitely not now. Wait till the economy bounces back, gold goes down, silver goes down, buy in.
Yeah, but it's
economy
good to have
crashes
for
and
trade
skyrockets.
if the apocalypse happens.
So is a 50 cal.
Yeah, that's 10 grand. I guess you're really spending all that money.
You know how much an ounce of gold costs?
No. How much does an ounce of gold cost?
Too much.
Too much? All right.
All right, someone in chat, if you can find out what the price of for an ounce of gold, put it in.
All right, so like I'm going to take an annuity because I'm a good boy like that, and I don't like government agencies following me. So yeah, they are following me anyway.
I mean, you have a cell phone,
And
right?
they have to constantly follow where you're at there.
I'm pretty sure
I can
that-
send you the check.
I mean, there's the theory that there's the tracker in the vaccine, so who knows? So I think my first thing that I'm doing is I'm just going on a long ass vacation.
I can agree with that one.
Yeah.
Go to the Atlantis in the Bahamas. I love it there. I want to retire there.
You love the Bahamas.
I do
What's
love the
retirement?
Bahamas. I do. I love
Something
the
we
Bahamas.
won't remember seeing.
And the people are super
Yeah.
friendly in the Bahamas. The culture is amazing. The food is out of this
Oh, yeah.
world.
And the water.
Oh,
Bath water.
yeah. Absolutely.
So that's what you're doing?
So what are you going to waste your money
A
on?
Lamborghini.
Well, I
That's
got to
purple.
waste my money.
Because you're going to buy a Lamborghini, so you're wasting that money.
Now,
First, once I get that first lump sum,
Glenn, he better say that he's going to be helping you out with it.
first thing I'm doing when I get that money, I'm gonna buy a picture of me in the Lamborghini to give to you.
please hold. We just got on chat how much it costs per ounce of gold.
All right, what's the
What's
price?
that?
$1,800 and rising.
So your annuity won't cut it. You have to wait till next month. I ain't got it right now. Nah, I mean, first thing I would do is pay my parents' house off. Second thing I'm doing, I'm buying a whole bunch of apartment buildings. But I want to make it to where it's in a nice area. So people that typically couldn't afford that area will be able to live there, give their kids better opportunities. Elderly people will have better opportunities where they don't have to go into nursing homes where they're treating them bad. I'd rather do it that way, but at least I'm still making the money, but also giving people opportunity to live in a better situation. Because the way things are right now, you literally have to move out of Jersey or move somewhere in a horrible neighborhood.
So in other words,
live.
Comrade Cuomo won't be able to send any COVID victims to your thing. He loves to send elderly people with COVID back to their nursing homes.
We gotta sit down and talk about it.
I'm not touching that one.
Not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
We gotta sit down and talk
Nope.
about that.
Sorry, a 3-foot pole or a 6-foot pole. You know, social distancing.
Yeah, well, hey, careful. The comrade might come after you.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing with my money.
You know what, too, with what you said, you know, making sure everybody's comfortable and whatnot, that's where the fact that living off the interest comes in play.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if something were to happen to me, I pass the money along.
You know, I like something that you said there where you're getting apartments with it. Sorry, I know vacation's great, and I'm sorry. I don't
Continuous
remember.
income.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't. You didn't
But
tell us
it
what
being-
you're buying, though.
But it being passive income is the big thing here. Those apartments, they're paying him, and he could sit there doing nothing.
Exactly.
And he still gets that check every month.
Right.
You
Yeah,
already
there's
look like a
maintenance. Yeah,
super-
there's this. But
I used to say I was working the building.
at the end of the day,
Hiring you for that.
at the end
I
of
hit
the
the
day,
lotto.
if he really wanted to save the money, he could do his own work in the building.
Right.
Like, as long as he's licensed.
See now, so I look at it like this.
That's where all his money
that,
goes.
That
Getting the
large
licensing.
lump sum, however much it costs to buy. Just say I bought 10 buildings. I'm gonna make all that money back and then some. So I'm not really making a dent out of my money. And then I still have other investments that I could do, even buying houses, flipping those. People are constantly buying houses. That's a market that's never going to fail. It might drop. The value might drop. But it's never going to be a point to where people aren't buying houses because you have to have a house.
It's like everything. There's a time to buy and there's a time to sell.
Right.
You don't buy a performance car in the middle of the summer. You buy it in the winter.
Right.
Right.
So I can't lose with that.
You're gonna lose either way, but
I know you're going to lose because I'm going to hack your account if you win the lotto.
you gonna hack my account?
Yeah.
You gonna blame Russia?
Omar.
If Brian's going on vacations, I'm buying an airline.
Huh?
I'm buying an airline and raise the prices just for him.
Thank you.
Instant rebate.
All right.
Glenn, your dad also said something too. Just touching back up with the aspect of being in a relationship. If you truly love your mate, you will want to be with them at all times. When you're not with them, you feel like something is missing.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's when you get to the point where it doesn't feel like something's missing that you're probably in over your head, and at that point, if you can go a day without talking to your significant other, what's really there?
Exactly. I
Like,
agree with that.
I can go a day without talking to you, bro.
I can go a lifetime without talking to you. But...
All right, well I'm leaving then.
All right, peace.
Mike, Glenn, switch seats.
So
We'd like to
welcome our new host.
We'd like to welcome our newest member.
So, the best job you ever had, worst job you ever had.
I don't know if
This
I can
is
say
trap.
that. I agree. I think this is a trap.
Start with your worst so it sweetens up the deal.
I plead the fifth.
So you're right to exercise that. How about you, Dan?
Honestly, I actually enjoyed working at all the places I did. Starting, yes.
That's because he likes it. But
It's the money.
so you're a whore. All right.
But that being said, no matter what job you get into, obviously
There's pros and cons to everything.
there's a pro and a con to everything. Loved the people I worked with at times in one place, hated the job, physical labor and job itself, but loved the people. That's what made it bearable.
Right.
And then in other places, it's the complete opposite. I liked doing the job, just the people were dicks.
Right.
And what can you do at that point?
I like most of my coworkers. There's like 2 or 3.
I know I'm in the top 5.
Of what? Ones I don't like?
Hey, Dan, hit that be right back button.
No, I mean, look, where I'm currently employed is good. I like just about everybody I work with.
The guys make the job better.
Yeah, they do. They do.
It's not a bad job. It's when you get
Careful.
it's. Is this pre-recorded? No,
now.
it's when you get people that don't listen when you're trying to teach them something, but they have the answers. That's what it doesn't make the job suck. It makes the job harder.
Right.
And realistically, it's making it harder on themselves because at the end of the day, I can hit the end switch on your machine. So
Now, I can throw this out there too. At the end of the day, Mike used to work for me in my store.
Work with you.
Again, this is a
He
trap.
worked with you.
so that's
That's
why
okay.
it's
So how was Dan as a boss?
Well,
It's okay,
when,
you
he
can call him an
wasn't, when he wasn't sitting in the office, it was great.
Oh, what are you doing in there?
Paperwork.
That's a good answer. It's
But
not true,
I
but it's
will
a
say
good
him sitting in the office let me do my own thing. Which is something that I definitely think is a big thing is trusting your employees.
Did you have an open door policy?
For me?
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody can come to me for anything.
I hate
And
to
unfortunately,
see
at
you
this
as a
point,
manager.
Wow.
It sucks.
Your door is
only
closed.
My door is not closed.
It might be open.
But as soon as you walk through, my door is going to get fucked. And then you're like, hey, bing bong.
Not even gonna ask you no questions.
The only time I've ever seen the door to that office closed was when somebody was getting fired. And or there was some sort of personal conversation going where the employee closed the door.
Correct.
I think my best job was when I worked at Northern State Prison. I loved it there. It was so much fun.
What'd you do?
I was food service, so I was liked by
Oh yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Everybody loves food.
What is that? What's the phrase? Don't piss off the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, don't bite the hand that
First of all,
feeds you.
it doesn't matter because if I pissed off anybody, it could have been my last day at work.
That's true. So you had a very risky job, but also a real lucrative job.
Yeah, it was.
Because you were doing what you like to do, while
Well,
also
not
almost
re-
getting shanked.
Yeah, sitting on my ass telling other people what to do. It was great.
So when you say food service, you're in the kitchen. Are there inmates in there with you?
Yeah. They're the ones who cook the whole meal for the whole entire prison.
Did you get a stick? Did you get a shank? Did you get anything to protect yourself?
Spatula.
I can't tell you.
Don't tell me later. Tell me
I can't tell you. Or you know.
With these mics on, unfortunately, he can't mention much.
I know that you keep yours in your prison wallet.
Of course. Where else am I gonna keep it?
Back when you were in Rikers, apparently.
Yeah.
But I loved it there. I loved, there was an element of danger each and every day working with inmates. Right. You know, they are violent offenders. But if you look past that, they're people.
It's a level of respect.
Yeah.
You give respect,
and
you
once
get
you
it.
breach past that point, like, oh my God, these people are scumbags.
Right.
And you really look back at it like, okay, they fucked up. They fucked up, some more than others. And you start to gain a mutual respect because that's how you have to survive, honestly.
Yeah.
And then it makes your day enjoyable because then what we're doing now is what I was doing in the prison, just joking around, playing around with these guys. I mean, I used to take a guy who we called Cash. I used to take his leg because he lost it in prison, and I put pudding in it. So when he went to put it back on, and pudding was hilarious, at least for me.
Yeah. But I mean, pretty much with any job, you're gonna deal with two kind of people. You're gonna deal with the people you can deal with, and you're gonna deal with somebody that's just not a people person, where you really don't look forward to seeing that person.
Yeah, we have a few of those.
Yeah.
Well, maybe two or three.
Yeah.
Just
I'll
kidding.
let you go before I answer mine. I got two worse ones.
Sorry, that whole thing with there's certain coworkers you don't like. Yeah. That's all.
Look, we're
that's all I
people.
gotta
We're
say
never
about
going to
that
get along. Nobody's ever going to get along with everybody.
It's just that one day they're on that shift, you're not looking forward to that day out of that week.
Yeah, like every day.
Especially when all of them are on the same shift.
Right.
And it's only those people.
That's one of those where you just gotta you gotta do something where you're by yourself, like stock or something like that. Headphones in, nobody's talking to you. Me personally, two worst jobs, either extermination, and I had the worst route. I had Jersey City, rats, the mall. Homes weren't bad because you would get good tips, but then it was mostly like maintenance stuff, like you're just doing annual, quarterly
the rats
stuff.
in the prison system, bro. Even you would run from those. They're like small cats, and they would chase you. And they got roaches like this big.
It's gonna be kind of hard.
Yeah, you could have. I actually kicked one of those rats, and it just shook it off. It was in my way.
Now, why would you do that?
It was in my way. It literally wouldn't move.
Now, here's my question. What was your reaction after it just shook it off?
Please don't bite me.
I started walking a lot faster. That's for sure.
Yeah, the
That
high
rat
speed
showed you
wobble,
who was
right?
bossing that
That was a thug rat right there.
Did it feel like a thud when you kicked it?
It did.
Oh man!
It hit the gate. It hit the fence that was behind it. And just like,
Wait, what if that's what all the
what
checks
was
are?
that?
Not for other people,
Mosquitoes
not
are
for
getting
the
big
rats.
out here.
And then the best part was you had the prison cats. Those were great too. Prison cats. I'll go into that another time because that's a lot. There's a lot I could tell you about the prison system. It's
Best
good
job.
and bad.
My best job. I don't even want to say what my best job was because I would just sound like a lazy asshole. But it was security.
And
I don't want to be that.
so, what are you gonna? That's what you are now.
Hit that button, Dan. Can't take this over there. No, I was working at Siemens for a security company, and I would just sit at a desk all day.
You're working where?
I'm not repeating it again because you're an asshole. No, I was working there. I literally 7 to 3, Monday through Friday, no weekends, and I was out at 3 o'clock. So it was perfect, right there in Flanders, and I was right by home, so it was perfect. You don't really find jobs like that no more. You actually have to do work now.
You know what? I have a thing to add to your question, too.
Uh-huh.
What would you prefer? To work a 40-hour week, working 4 10-hour shifts and 3 days off? Or to keep at its status quo, which is 5 days at 8 hours?
I like to show my face high and by. That's the job that I want, where I'm actually the owner of it. Just make sure the business is running right, and I'm out of there.
That'd be a terrible business
You know
if
what,
you were
though?
the owner.
No, I
And
have
it's
you
kind
working it.
I'm actually glad I waited till after you said that because I don't understand the appeal of sitting like you said, sitting there doing nothing's your ideal job. I don't see the appeal of that at all. Sitting there, it gets boring. I like to be able to walk around, do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets annoying being on my feet 10 hours a day, whatever. But it's when you know the time flies by, you're not sitting there staring at the clock waiting for that 5 o'clock to hit.
It's got a point on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And to that point, 4 and 10.
Yeah.
If I'm already there, give me the extra 2 hours, but I want that day off to sleep in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree
with that. Yeah.
You know who probably has the best jobs? Firemen. 1 day on, 3 days off, on call. You're only working a 24-hour shift, but
They
you're at the
have to
firehouse.
walk into fire.
Hey, not necessarily. You could be outside just running the pumps on a truck.
Until the next one when you're inside.
Yeah, we got an elevator that's trapped, and you got to climb through this little hole, and hopefully it doesn't drop. So, I mean, yeah, it is
That's
a risky
why
job.
I love our fire and police. I couldn't do it. I couldn't run into a burning building. There's no way.
I do that. I do that now as a volunteer. You'd be surprised what
When?
you can do. About to find out right now.
Low key, guys, you may see a whole different backdrop next week.
Yeah, bear might be halfway up there.
We're still looking for a name for the bear, so make sure you put that in the comments.
And we're looking for a new guy to sit in this chair because Brian's out of here after this episode.
Well, I guess
In your own house.
I'm in my own house. That's the thing. In my own house, I guess the speakeasy's closed then.
No, that's always open. It's a 24-hour spot here. You're just not welcome.
Oh, okay, okay.
What is your favorite food to make?
Well, we were talking about that earlier.
It's got to be one thing, like your number one dish where you can go to that and it's gonna come out the same every time.
Well, I guess for me, it's my venison and wild boar lasagna. I guess that's what it's going to boil down to.
A lot
I
of
hate
prep.
you, by the way.
Why?
Now I'm hungry. But
We had a good meal.
I digress.
We also have food left over.
Oh yeah, we still have food left over.
And Alex also brought food.
Hey, hit that button, Dad. We're gonna go to break for a good reason now. What about you, Dan?
For me, I don't really cook, but when I do, stir fry. That's my go-to.
Because it's the hardest thing to mess up.
So when you say stir fry, are you making everything from scratch? Like you're doing everything, or are
Like
you using pre-cooked?
rice, like rice out of the fridge because it was cooked the day before.
Ah,
Yeah.
You're making the best out of leftovers.
Well, that's how you. How else are you gonna make stir fry? Are you gonna use fresh rice?
I don't know. This
Yeah,
master
but
chef right
muck
here
at
might
that
surprise you.
No, it's always day old rice.
Bet you also make your rice without washing it.
So you'll eat the roaches and stuff in there.
All right, we got 2 name suggestions for the bear.
All right. What do you got for the bear?
Yogi is one of them,
Okay,
I like
okay.
that.
and Alex here. Mushy snuggle bites.
Mushy snuggle bites.
I would only
He is-
remember that if
He
I'm
is super
drunk.
soft.
Yes.
Sebastian.
Sebastian. All right. Well, you know what? We'll on the 100th subscriber on that episode, we will pick a name for the bear.
Yeah.
I'm just.
And we'll give credit to whoever came up with it.
Ooh.
What is it?
The 100th subscriber is the name of the bear.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
you know
there
what?
go.
You know what though? Why don't we do this? One of our first 100 subscribers will get the chance to name the bear, and
Yeah,
we'll
we can
pick
do
it.
like a-
We
we can
will
do
pick
like
it
a
at
lottery,
random.
yeah.
All right,
Correct.
let me go make a couple more accounts.
All right,
Mine's
so, yeah. What do you like to
Steak.
burn? I mean, cook.
make that 10-minute break. It's gonna get physical.
So steak, which
yeah, it's gonna
big,
be steak.
No big shock there.
It's gonna be steak.
There's one right answer and many wrong answers.
Steak, and that's it. That's all I got is steak.
How do you like your steak?
Medium rare.
Good man.
Medium
How
rare.
do you season your steak?
Shout out to Deer Meat for dinner. Because it's only Everglades. That's all I ever put on steak. Nothing else but Everglades all purpose. Mwah.
I'm pretty sure you put more on it last time.
Well, that was last time. This time's different. I had to go head to head with the head chef here.
Now, do you cook every steak the same? Every cut of steak the same?
No. So it all depends on the cut. If there's good marbling, good fat on there, I don't have to use like a steak that doesn't have that much fat. I'm using olive oil and butter. Steak that has good
Fat
marbling.
on fat.
Huh?
In other words, fat on fat.
Whose steak is this?
It makes everything taste better.
It's a culinary school no.
We both went to culinary school.
I actually went to one. Which one did you go to?
Well, which one did you go to?
Exactly. You didn't go to
You go
one.
to Mr. Producer.
So what?
Oh, I didn't go there.
I went to I went to IDTT.
What the fuck is IDTT?
Look it up.
Okay, I will later. Thank you.
What is your biggest fear, and do you ever plan on conquering it?
I'll answer the last part. For me is no. No. I am petrified of snakes. Absolutely petrified of snakes. And if any of you fuckers bring a snake in here, I will get my Desert Eagle. And it won't just be the snake that's dying that day. Snakes and spiders, fuck no. And I never plan on breaking that fear.
I hate
That's why I
ice
took the
spiders
lump
too.
sum.
I also don't do roller coasters either.
I used to be like that. What is it, the height or the speed?
It's the not being able to control how you die.
Oh, you're controlling it by getting on the roller coaster.
All right.
No.
But that also means you're
Look,
giving up.
I'm
control.
also a really large mammal, and those clickers don't really click over my fatness.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, no, I don't plan on ever getting over that shit.
For me, fear of failure.
Oh wow, playing it safe. Okay.
It's one of the hardest things you can overcome. You know, you let the fear of failing basically can cause you to fail.
Failure though is good sometimes though because you can learn from it.
It is.
What about you? What you got?
I'm not gonna say what my biggest fear is, Dan, but I'm not getting rid of it. No. I will tell you what my second biggest one is, and that's clowns. I don't know why. I
don't like
hate
'em either.
clowns. I
I don't
will
like
not
'em
go
either.
near a clown. Last time I went near a clown, his big red nose got even bigger and even more red. So,
I don't like them either. They're fucking weird.
yeah.
Sorry if any clowns are watching this.
Alex.
Oh, but you know your profession is weird.
My biggest fear used to be heights. At this point now, it's probably not doing the things that I want to do in life. Like, not doing everything as far as like going out fishing, trying different things, like just not doing that kind of stuff. That's my biggest fear.
FOMO. Fear of missing out?
I don't want to pass away and
Regrets.
then be like, wow, I had the chance to do this. I had the chance to go on this boat, doing all this kind of stuff, and I didn't. I want to live my life to the fullest. Like, I want to do everything. Things that I wouldn't even think that I would be interested in doing, I want to do.
I'd like to travel. But I really don't like flying, honestly. But you got to do it to get there. Can't drive to Europe, can you?
Well,
You can drive a
Take the
boat.
long way around.
take the ferry. You drive onto there.
I love cruise ships.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get me on a cruise to Europe. From here to Europe, no problem. Just not on the new Titanic they're building. Which I can't believe they're actually doing that.
Listen,
wouldn't
they
even
built
name it
one,
that.
said it was unsinkable, and it sank. You're gonna build it again.
With the
Why?
same name. The same name. That's a cursed name. No
But
way.
you know what? People will go on that just
All right,
because
Are you superstitious when it comes to stuff like that?
certain things.
Would you go on the Titanic too?
Is it free?
No, it's not fucking free.
Then I ain't going.
No, just off the fact that the original Titanic sunk, would you go on the Titanic too?
Yeah.
I would
Why?
because the way they're building ships now.
Okay,
But it's built to spec.
it's built to spec.
I'm not going nowhere cold, first of all, so I'm not hitting the iceberg.
They were
were
coming
coming for Gunther.
from the UK to New York. It's the same.
They had
fucking
no
route.
their GPS was a guy with a binoculars looking at an iceberg.
Well, you can see the iceberg.
Yeah, he saw. They were
GPS
busy.
didn't
They
see
were
the
they were
iceberg.
busy shivering up there before he realized the iceberg was there. Then you had a guy that had to dial it in, not call it in. He had to dial it in to change the direction of the ship. So of course I would go on.
All right,
I would go to Titanic.
So
now.
if it was the same thing, if some guy had to be up in the crow's nest, would you?
The
would you go on?
exact same thing.
Lifeboats are better now too. So
No,
No,
same
no, no.
thing.
Same-
Exact
Oh,
same
no.
thing.
I'll get you a ticket for it.
all right, as long as it's free, I might
What
be
about
there.
you,
Listen,
Dan? Would you let
if it does
superstition like that
sink,
do?
you have a great story.
And if I survive, I'm gonna be filthy rich.
That's true. North Star paid out a lot of money.
And you'll have a great story.
So what about you, Dan? Would you let superstition like that kind of sway your judgment?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I too. I ain't going on that damn shit. I don't care if they gave me a free trip for it.
If I have a gut feeling, that is going to end horribly wrong,
Especially
That's
because
it.
they're traveling the same route the original Titanic.
Let me ask you a question then. Would you travel on a cruise that goes up to like Antarctica, anywhere like that?
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah.
my future home because I like the cold?
So you have a higher chance of an iceberg there than you do going anywhere.
Here's the difference,
but
though.
they're on an
Island-wise.
ice crusher ship. The ship is designed to blow through ice.
So this Titanic has to be built the same way.
It's not.
Their
It's built
first
the way North Star did it, just with newer tech.
navigation is a hell of technology.
It's been fun knowing you because usually it's women and children first. Oh well, you'll be fine then.
Oh, where's my shank?
It's in your prison wallet.
Now,
Well-
there is one superstition, though. This is a weird one. Red cars. I will not ever own a red car.
Why?
Why?
I don't know this one.
There's
Top
a Chi-
magnet.
There's a Chinese superstition of not getting a red car because it's a red box. And in Chinese tradition, the casket's red.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ooh.
So basically, the superstition is you're getting into a death box.
Oh shit. Now I don't know if I ever want to get a red car.
I used to own one.
You got a red car right now
What?
in the garage.
That's a classic car, and it's
So
for
the
sale.
classic doesn't change the
It's for sale
dynamics.
too. It's for sale.
Well, is it your red or is it real red?
It's
red.
that red.
Because that's also red.
Did they say what color this is in there? What color is this shirt? I hate all you guys.
It's pink. Just so you,
It's the lighting in here.
it's not the lighting. Trust me. Let's look at the chat. What's going on in the chat?
All
Is
right,
anything going on?
so first things first. Hi, Mio, for jumping in.
Hey,
Leo.
Leo.
Just
Glenn
so
has
y'all-
no idea who you are.
I don't,
we
but
all
hi
know who
anyway.
you are.
Huh?
Just so everyone here knows, Mio is a friend of ours from our Twitch streams. And Glenn, your dad also said his mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he
Dad
did.
makes a mean mac
Yeah,
and
oh,
cheese.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
saying he
yeah,
makes a
yeah.
mean cheesecake too.
Yeah, cheesecakes, birthday cakes, like not like birthday cake, but like chocolate cake.
You know what that means, right?
He's
Barbecue
known,
at Glenn's
yeah.
house.
Absolutely.
When's your birthday?
Next Tuesday.
Hey, Dad, he needs a cake for his
Next
birthday.
Tuesday, I will be 33 on the stream. So we got to do something. We got to think of something. We'll come up with something pretty neat.
I'll break a skateboard on your back.
All right, yeah. WWF theme,
Yeah,
WWE theme.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, for all we know, it might actually fix your back.
I'm down for anything at this point. Anything else on there? Because I think
Guys, Glenn, that I'm assuming is your last question, correct? All right, so we are going to take a
we're gonna,
5-minute break soon, but
we're
in
gonna
the
come back.
meantime, anyone have any questions for us?
when we come back from that break, we're gonna be lighting up them cigars. So
Yes.
stay tuned.
Refill
Absolutely.
your cups and get your cigars ready.
Absolutely. So we're going to go on a quick break. Type your questions in the chat. When we come back, while we're lighting up the cigars, we will answer them.
And if you're Mio, you gotta roast Dan.
Please do.
I knew he was going to say that.
We'll be
And
right
Brian,
back.
because she knows Brian now, too.
That's true.
That's also very true.
Next time.
Next time. Bring a steak.
All right, guys. We will be right back.
What?
Dan broke.
Yeah, no,
something.
that was me. That was 100% my fault.
Damn it, Bobby.
Boah! King of the Hill. Go watch it. It's funny. So.
Absolutely. All right.
Hope you guys got
So-
your cigars ready.
And a nice, refreshing beverage.
Absolutely. Now, we did get your dad on the chat. He is down to make something for Brian.
Oh, thank
right.
you so much. Thank
Now,
you.
The real question is, what's your favorite flavor?
For what though? For what? What you
Assume
want?
it's for a cake.
When it comes to cheesecake, I love strawberry.
You want a cheesecake or a regular cake?
Either one. Either one. I love strawberries. That's one of my favorite foods.
yeah. You got a good strawberry one.
I'm sure whatever he makes is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Glenn. I appreciate
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
All right, let's break out these cigars.
And I'm gonna bring you a nice surprise for chat.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
All right. Now,
What we
you
got
don't smoke,
there?
but I do have an extra one. Do you want one?
I'm all right.
All right, here we go. Again, thank you, Pete, for the recommendation.
Shout out Pete.
Absolutely. And just to let you guys know, having Mike on board was very last minute.
Yeah.
Literally.
Wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned at
There
all.
you go, sir.
Thank you.
It
Thank
makes
you.
it
There you
makes
go,
it feel
sir.
better. I was just supposed to bring the camera in, and well, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're sitting right there." What?
Yeah, pretty much.
So today we have Perdomo Habanos Connecticut blend. Pete said these are excellent. Dan, you bought them. So what's the average price point for these?
The average price for these is $10.95 each.
All right, that's not too bad.
Not bad
too
at all.
bad.
Now,
Oh, I got the double wrapper on there too. I like that.
Now, what's nice about it too is they offer it in both the Churchill and a torpedo.
That smells amazing.
Ooh, let's go pair good with this wine.
That's very good.
Now, Rod, are you gonna try toasting it this time to see if you can tell the difference?
No.
What about you, Dan?
No,
Okay.
'Cause-
did you notice a difference last time?
No.
Well, I guess it's completely not worth the try.
So let me show you guys. I got some new gear for myself too. I also got myself a V cut there, nice and gold with some skulls on it to fit my personality here. And
Dead inside?
it is, yeah, exactly, dead inside. It is made by Cigarism, and it is $29.99 on Amazon.com. I also got a new lighter right here, and that
Match
is
it.
from Lebowski, again from Amazon, $19.99. Let's see how this works out this time.
And let's see if Glenn's torch will light the place on fire.
Yes.
I hope so, because that was
They're
hilarious.
used to that now.
Dan still needs to get on the bandwagon and get his own cutter.
And that I do.
Ooh, that did cut nice.
Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Here you go. You can use mine, because I wouldn't want to use Glenn's. I'd want to use mine too.
It's got a lot of weight to it too.
It does. It's nice.
That's nice. Maybe we can upgrade.
You need to.
Hey, Dad. Check out Amazon for me.
Wow. Wow, you're going to mooch off your own father.
Father's Day's coming up. Who's Father's
So
Day?
you should buy him one.
Whose dad is this we talking to?
I'm talking to your dad. Your
Hey, Dad, put something extra in that cheesecake.
Your dad had to raise you.
You don't mind puberty hairs, do you?
Puberty hairs? Can you hold on? Can you please explain what's puberty hairs?
So when you hit puberty, you get those hairs.
You mean something that you're not familiar with yet?
Oh,
Pretty sure you still got like 2 more inches to grow.
oh man!
Little,
He called you short.
Shout out Bobby.
you mean Silver Fox?
Yeah, Silver Fox Box 1. Come on, lighter.
If I know that we were just on the phone with a couple of our co-workers. We hope that you all are safe from what happened over there today.
Yeah, shout out Reloaded RSOs.
Yep. All of our RSOs over there, stay safe and try to stay cool in their range today. How is it? Of course, now mine's not going to work. Because you jinxed it.
Ha ha. Mmm.
Dan, you don't get no fire.
How are you working today?
I guess
Biggie?
not that well. Let me get yours.
Okay.
I guess I need to put a little
He
bit more.
needs me now. I like this. I actually like this one better than the one we had last week. Not as harsh.
You thought last week's was harsh?
No, not. I don't think it was crazy harsh. I think this one is a little softer than the one we had last week. What do you think?
It is. Last week's was good. This is really good.
Now I will say this: I do have a friend that I would like to introduce one of y'all to at some point. Happens to have a cigar shop.
Oh,
I'll take you in there one day. Maybe Brian, 'cause his birthday's coming up.
oh, I'm definitely down for that. I was about to say if it's a female, keep him away from Glenn, but
Again, keep in mind, he's the one who's married here. The rest of us are single.
well, you and I are. He's in a relationship,
That is true.
Yes.
so don't be throwing that out there. So the ladies start hitting him up on the chat.
You're funny.
This is very good.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pete,
Yeah.
for the recommendation.
You
You
know
were
our taste
100% spot on with this.
Yes.
Now, Pete, one other thing, they do have a 20th anniversary one that was there. Apparently, it's got very good ratings, so we might want to give that a try at some point too.
I hope Pete is watching. He said he was going to watch, but I don't know if he knows how to use YouTube. All right.
Anything in the chat yet, Derek?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Got your question?
Yeah, let's
All
go
right.
to you then, Dad.
So-
Let's pass it over to the baton over to you.
Obviously, Glenn here had a topic on more or less family things and what you would do. Here is a question for you guys. What do you think of the state of the video game enterprise right now in terms of subscription services and content being released in that aspect, or just purchasing it outright?
Well, let's shoot it over to Mike because he looked like he got
Mike,
something.
who's
Yeah,
also
you got
a fellow
something right
streamer,
there.
by the way.
All right, so
Yeah, hold on. Let's throw his Twitch account in there.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. No hate towards the game; it's a fun game and all, but I'm using this as an example because that's the first one that comes to mind. I hate the way that World of Warcraft has their thing set up, where you have to have a subscription to play, to pay to play games like that.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
like
I
that
think
either.
that one lump payment for mandatory, and then if you want the DLCs, if you want the updates, if you want in extra
Extras,
stuff
yeah,
to do
yeah.
it, but that first being forced to pay every month just to play the damn game.
See, I'm the same. I feel the same way because I play Knights of the Old Republic online, and it's the same exact thing. You have to pay to play. I hate that shit.
So, why do you think you have to pay for online now? Remember when PlayStation came out, it was free. Xbox was charging.
Look, we don't want to hear about.
You got to throw that out there.
Why'd they do that? Because they can.
Everything
At that
look,
point, that's
everything
not not for an online subscription. That's just so you can play the game.
right.
I mean, you're paying. All right, so you're paying Wi-Fi. You're paying $60 a game. Then you have to pay for any extra.
You're paying for their network, is what you're paying for there.
To be able to play the game online and access all of their content,
'Cause
you
you're-
have to pay
You're
monthly
accessing
for it.
their servers.
Right.
But well, that's where Xbox is actually better than PlayStation because PlayStation
What was that?
Network sucks.
What was that?
Did we
PlayStation
actually hear
Network
those words
sucks.
come out of his mouth?
Oh my
I will
goodness.
say it. I will say it. Think about it. Call of Duty runs smooth. Smaller game than Grand Theft Auto. Smaller game than 2K. 2K is absolutely the worst online. The lagging on that game, their network is horrible. But they're putting out games that's constantly the same, constantly the same. They'll add something and take something away that's been there for the last 2-3 seasons.
Well, that being said, again, if Microsoft just recently announced too that they're changing their whole platform around.
Again.
Yes, to the point where their Game Pass is going to be their primary way to play. But that's now everything. That's including any first-party games they come out with, anything that is owned by Microsoft, or just other games in general. They may
Right.
release, for $70 like all the new PlayStation 5 games.
Well,
We may get it on the Xbox part of the Game Pass a few months later, and we don't have to pay another dime for
so
it.
going to what Mike said too. I bought Final Fantasy VII the remake for $90 for the for part one of 4. I have to now buy part 2. You thought that not knowing that we were going to have to do that. I don't know if anybody else feels kind of cheated by Square Enix in that aspect. I mean, I think that's a little ridiculous. I paid $90 for that game, and I thought, okay, it would just release in segments.
Right.
Now, here's a question.
And it's only for the PS5 now, too.
Now, here to piggyback off that, here's the main question. If they charged you $200 for the game, but you were guaranteed all 4 parts, would you pay?
Yeah.
Does that make more sense than paying basically the full price of the game every time?
But bear in mind, I think it's just because they called it Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. If they did something like, what is it? I'm gonna use Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, or Halo 1, 2, 3, where they're separate games, but they can be lumped together. At that point, you're paying $200 for a single game, whereas here, if they just rebranded it, you'd be paying $60 times 4 for 4 separate games. Yes, they're continuous, but
Yeah, but I think most people well, again, I'll just use Final Fantasy VII for example. I don't think people would have paid for the higher edition if they didn't think that they were going to get all 4 parts.
oh no.
I know I wouldn't have. I would have just bought the base game.
So when you guys buy games, are you buying digital copies or actual?
I buy digital copies.
The way our stuff is set up, it's digital.
Okay.
No.
I mean, it's more of a hassle to have to keep taking a disc out anyway.
Well, and where are you going to go? I mean, like GameStops are few and far in between. I mean, you can go to Walmart, but in my opinion, you're paying more at Walmart.
Well, if you're buying the disc, they also come with a digital code too.
Right. Yeah.
So at that point, you're having the disc for nostalgia purposes or for collective purposes.
Right.
That's what the discs become. They sell this stuff for PC too. Well, a lot of PCs now don't even have a slot for a
disc. Yeah, the disc drives are
Do
gone.
you guys think it would be better for? So, the reason why I think GameStop still even exists is because of trade-ins. Do you think that they should have in the store to where you can trade your games in online?
That would be an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Right.
Release
Because
your
you lose out
release your,
having a digital copy.
release your digital code.
All right. Because if you are a guy that buys disc, that means that every time a new game or a new version comes out, you got to buy that new disc. But you can also trade it in to get it for cheaper. You can't do that with a download.
Well, here's a thought. If they were to do something like that with the Xbox Game Pass, where it is a monthly subscription, right? Well, what happens if you have a game that you bought, you want to sell a digital copy for? You sell the digital copy, you basically are selling your digital license, but now you have store credit.
I can see that.
You want to buy the game flat outright. You pay
let's
$60.
be real, people are going to exploit that. People are going to exploit it.
Yeah, because then they can copy the game. They can do anything like that for offline usage.
Well,
The
unless it was
biggest-
baked into the actual system
And
itself.
what, people follow
Well, that's
the
if you're assuming there that they're playing it online.
Right.
Campaign modes, the story modes, where they can be done offline. It really doesn't impact that.
Well,
kind of
I don't really play
keep in
story
mind-
modes on
And keep
games
in
too
mind- but
often.
also-
I
bear in
love
mind-
story mode.
Really?
what is the benefit
You're a loner,
to
that's
the
why. You
consumer?
like
The
being by
companies
yourself,
can't
so
resell that
that
code
makes sense.
because at that point they're buying a new code. It doesn't make any difference to the company. Why would they do that? You already it's basically a screw you to the customer. But who's going to buy the used code when it costs the exact same amount as a new game?
That's
and
true,
what
too.
benefit do they have of doing that if they can still sell you the brand new game, the whole game?
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
I still think.
And I'm very pro buying used games and all, but
Right.
for digital copies, it doesn't. To me, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, then that being said, what is your opinion on this Game Pass service? You pay a subscription and they have a bunch of games that you can play. And it's
Like
constantly
Netflix.
updated.
Think of it as Netflix for games.
Bring back GameFly.
GameFly.
Everybody remembers that one,
That didn't
GameFly.
last too long. That was a
But-
crazy thing.
Because people were just stealing the games.
Yeah,
Basically, it's
sending
like
you
a-
back DVDs. How high?
It's just
Pootie
like
Tang.
Netflix. You're paying to watch these shows. When you stop paying your subscription, you lose access to these shows from that platform.
Yep.
It's the same. It's the same thing except with your games.
Right.
You're
Right.
paying less to watch each of these shows. Go ahead, go try and watch whatever it is on Netflix that you watch. See how much it costs to buy the digital copy of that versus paying this much a month to watch.
Like I
whatever
was,
you want.
like I think
Yeah.
though, people are going to start to exploit that. Just like when it comes to cheating in video games, Fortnite, Call of
They're gonna
Duty,
find
all
ways,
that.
yeah. They're gonna find
Everybody's
ways.
going to find a way to exploit it. There's, hacking everything and all that stuff. And
Well, the big exploit there would be creating a new account and using that 1 month free whatever with the referral programs and stuff.
right.
Realistically, I just think the only thing I'm looking, for to change is games that come out and they're lacking what you would think, the game should have in it.
So like all the hype that you see in the trailers, and then it's a letdown.
nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that actually leads into my next question.
Go ahead.
All right, so the next question is, what's your expectations from these publishing companies when they come out with the games?
All I know is this new Battlefield better be as good as it looks on the trailer.
I will agree with that.
Because they promised a lot of stuff.
I'm glad
they
you
better
said
deliver.
that. Call of Duty or Battlefield?
Battlefield. not
Battlefield,
Call of
hands
Duty.
down.
Why do you think Call of Duty hasn't made it to where like you can actually explode buildings and use other things
Because
around
they
you?
like to push it out too fast. Because they know that they can do that.
But it's
I
been
think it's-
years and years
I
and
think it's
years
also
of it.
their style of gameplay. The whole gameplay style of Call of Duty is different than that of Battlefield.
It's like a faster pace.
For that reason, those walls are built to be solid to make it more like a maze,
Right.
Right.
where you have to keep moving. Where like it's encouraging you to play a different way. Battlefield,
Strategic.
I want to go here. I'm just gonna kick down this wall.
Oh, that guy's
Call of Duty,
camping
I
in
wanna
that building?
here.
Deep.
Right. Exactly.
Whereas the
Well,
whole purpose of Call
but
of
I
Duty
like
is, wanna
having
get
the
here, I wanna
option to
run
do that.
Yeah, and Call of Duty, of course, it's aimbot to win games. So, because everybody seems to use aimbots.
Not I.
Nope, not I don't even know how to do that stuff. So,
Ooh.
Well-
aimbots. Cross compatibility is becoming an issue there. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I know
no,
you have your
by all
topics
means.
There, but that brings in another kind of thing that I'm thinking about. Everyone wanted cross compatibility, and now it's becoming this issue.
Yeah.
Console games have always had that little bit of aim assist.
mhm.
No, you can't argue that. They do.
Yeah, they do.
Fact of the matter. PC generally never has that, and still never does. So now, you're seeing these PC players. Yeah, they have. You can argue PC players have more precision and faster, whatever. But they don't have aim assist. You're basically putting them against what we have always perceived as hackers.
Mhm.
Doing shots that typically wouldn't be possible, so that you can never do on a PC, just because of the precision that's required.
Right.
What do you
That's
think
true.
about that?
It's true. It's true.
I mean,
I'm looking for a game to come out to where it has everything that we've had before and then some. There's no reason why a game, just say for instance, Grand Theft Auto. You can literally own your own mansions. You can buy all these type of cars, customize them, do all of this kind of stuff here. You can have fist fights. San Andreas, you were able to eat. You had to go buy food because you would get hungry. You would get skinny. You would lose weight. You would get sick. You can do all this kind of stuff. New generation comes out, better graphics, but they take that away. You can literally run around for a week straight.
so you
Do nothing.
So you're saying they sacrificed gameplay for graphics?
Right.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, there's that new game coming out, New Worlds. If I'm not mistaken, they're adding a lot of that very customizable, very lifelike game aspect to it, where you're able to go around. You want to punch the NPC shop owner in the face? Go ahead, punch him in the face. See what happens.
If I'm playing an open world game, I want it to feel like an open world game to where like my car, I might hop in the car, has no gas in it. Car doesn't work, it's missing a tire, I don't even realize it. I want stuff that will make that game just be like, I have to play this.
It sounds like you want a game that's just filled with crime. Is something
Sounds
you want
like
to
you
tell us?
I can be the cop.
Sounds like you want Camden.
Yeah, can.
No,
That's
but
what I want to see.
that's another thing to put into topic too is when a game comes out, obviously you're buying into the game. I'll use Call of Duty as an example. You know, you buy the game and then you pay for each season, and they just keep constantly rolling out content. But at times the game feels like it's lacking from the get-go.
Right.
At that point, was it worth the $60 you spent on it?
Well, that's why they'll throw flashy shit at you. They'll throw flashy new gun skins. They'll
Right.
throw flat
Right.
like how they put John McClane and Rambo in.
Mm-hmm.
That was they had no reason to be in that game whatsoever,
yeah.
but it was a cash grab,
Right.
and it worked. I bought them. I wasted my money on them.
So now, Dan, your question.
I never play as them either.
Does that count for consoles as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just everything in general.
So-
Releasing something that's not more or less what feels like it's ready to be released.
So-
And then fixing it later.
Sony put out PlayStation 5. which is still out of stock. Most people can't get it unless you're paying $800.
Same with the
for
Xbox. It's still not out there.
Same
Even the
exact
Switch
thing.
now. You can't even find a Switch.
So the game comes out, and it's not what you would expect it to be.
All right. I really liked the way that Cyberpunk 2077 looks. I liked the trailer. I liked everything until I started playing it.
Right.
There were so many glitches, so many problems, and they were putting patch after patch after
Right.
patch after patch. It fixed some things.
Yeah.
It was still fun as hell walking around with a samurai sword slashing bitches' head off.
Right.
But that's where I think you're coming from. They should have fixed it before they released it. But I get it. You know, they have deadlines like everybody does.
Now I'm gonna cut your question to two parts.
Go for it.
Incomplete game versus game as advertised. 2077, they advertised it as this fantastic, do everything, and they just released it early.
Mm-hmm.
They failed on their advertisement.
Yep.
Yes.
They did.
Whereas Call of Duty with the what they're releasing, they're not hiding anything. They're open. This is what the game is. There will be more to come, but this is what you're getting. This is what you're paying for.
Mm-hmm.
When you sign up for that game, you're getting exactly what you pay for, and you know you're getting that.
Yep.
You know there's going to be updates, which is going to make it better. Is why you do it.
And the Coalition, who made Gears 5, they did exactly the same thing. They were very transparent on all the changes they were making from Gears 4.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a big difference there. Is there's two parts to that where it kind of gets lumped together, but there's the incomplete versus misadvertised.
Well, do you think it's just because they missed their deadlines,
Mr. Deadlines,
or they just
losing money,
don't care?
They're too big. They're too big to break. That's a big one.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like when it comes to work, everybody can have their number called up. And nowadays, with how big the gaming community is, especially because of with COVID, us gamers, because let's face it, we all are in this room.
Yeah.
We're not going to let that shit slide anymore.
But what competition do they have?
No, every company is in competition with each other.
Yeah, but
I mean, you look at
the Battlefield family is going to stick with Battlefield no matter what. Halo is going to stick with Halo no matter what.
Yeah, but those are going to blow things like Call of Duty out of the water.
Call of Duty has their own fan base.
Right. You got people that just strictly play Call of Duty.
You have an entire league dedicated to just Call of Duty.
Well, I recently signed back onto League of Legends, and I hate it. I miss the old one. I liked the original way it was set up a couple years back, maybe 3-4 years ago. It was much more user-friendly.
But that's a different game. Call of Duty, it's, what is it now, 14 different games. You can go back and play the original Modern Warfare if you really wanted to.
That's true. That's true.
That's a big thing. League, it's constantly being updated, the same game. Counter-Strike, League,
PUBG, all that stuff.
PUBG, all those, they're constantly being updated so you're playing the same game versus a different, an independent game.
Right.
It could be similar, but it's independent.
Well, you know, there's always one game that'll never fail, in my opinion. And that's all those Pokemon games.
Yeah.
No matter what, who makes that? Game Freak? I think.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a Game Freak.
Is
I'm
it?
pretty sure
Is
it's still
it?
Game Freak.
I think it's them. Whatever they're doing, they are doing it right every time.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, I think they've been around now for 30 years, something like that,
Something like that.
and they still got it going right. And their game,
95, right?
yes, and their games are still fun. Even the one where you're just driving around taking pictures with Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
But see, notice this too. When they release a game,
But they're very honest with what you see in the trailer is what you're getting in that game.
And
But-
they put out a lot of feelers for it. I think that's why they're so successful, is they actually take the feedback.
Yep.
You know what it is, which makes you guys disappointed, and me myself disappointed, is where you see the cutscenes for a game, and you're not able to do none of that stuff that you see that's in there. It's just a cutscene. You're seeing a movie basically, and when you play the game, they take that dynamic out of the game. So it's a
That's why I always recommend play Mass Effect 1 through 3. They fixed all the fuck ups from 3. So play the remake, and it's not only a cinematic story. Think of it like Naruto, but for a video game, where you just get so invested in every character, and it's a fuck ton of fun to play. I love it. I will play Mass Effect any day of the week.
now, Glenn, to go with what you say, seeing something in a cutscene and then not being able to do it. Look what Battlefield did in their trailer. They literally took a clip of what some guy did back in Battlefield 3 and and made it part of the cinematic for Battlefield.
We can't
the
do
new
none,
Battlefield.
you can't do none of it.
But that's what
No, you physically can.
Oh yeah.
But that's
Oh
what
yeah.
I feel, is if you're going to put it in an ad, have it done
Right.
by somebody who can actually do it in the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping out of the airplane, doing this, it might be insanely difficult. Only one person in the world can do it,
And it's been
but
done.
it can be done.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I think, in my opinion, gaming companies, they need to step it up a little bit. Now,
I agree.
now,
Granted, especially with this past year, I can understand some games being delayed.
and
I'd
people,
rather a game be delayed and come out right than rushed and fixed.
and people need to stop fucking the market over by buying every system that they find as soon as it hits stores and selling it for triple the price.
Yep.
That's the problem, too. That's
agree.
why people who want the new system, we just can't get them because people have deregulated the market
Right.
to the point where it's impossible, one, to find it, and two, to afford it.
And I completely agree with
I don't
that.
know how would you fix that. Social security numbers, like
It really COVID exposed that.
Yeah.
That's when you really notice that. When I was a kid, my dad would buy me a PlayStation. They were getting it Christmas time. Every household had a PlayStation.
You know
What made that happen to where they put this game out but didn't have enough product?
Excuse me. Right.
and that's in turn killing the gaming industry
Right.
because there's no one to make these in-game purchases.
Right.
Now,
So now they're
and-
doing little things to make other prices for things. All right, so people are still playing on the PS4. They're still playing the old gen. What can we do to make them have to spend money?
Well,
So
that's
now
what,
they're
like I
doing
said,
little
with like the
things.
John McClane and Rambo.
It's not even just that anymore. Look at some of these newer games coming out. They're only for the next gen consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you moving that way already when
There are no next gen consoles to
You're
buy.
trying to force people to have to buy a new gen when you can't get it.
Well, it's even the same with computers now, though.
graphics cards?
Graphics
Putting out
cards.
computers, they're blasting stuff out. Crysis still can't run perfectly, and that game's 12 years old.
That game was a masterpiece in terms of how it was built.
It was, but that's
I
not
like
the
the
point
cigar,
here.
bro.
That's not the point here. It's an old.
Nice label,
They're
too.
old.
We had to save one of these still.
They're old, but they still don't run well. What is the problem there?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm playing Call of Duty the other day, and just because my computer can handle it, everything's fine on it, but for some reason, it does not like my computer. Why is that? Literally any other game will run perfectly fine except for Call of Duty. Yes, Battlefield will too.
That's so weird, though, isn't it? I
But
don't.
that's what they're doing is they're messing with those little things.
Mhm.
If you don't have this specific generation or higher, it doesn't like it. But it's not available or realistic to upgrade.
Right. Or affordable. You know, everybody's still starting to recuperate finances back from COVID now.
Yeah.
I mean, that crippled a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of businesses out.
Yeah.
Closed.
Fortunately, if you survived through COVID, we wish you the best. If you didn't, we hope you get back on your feet. We
Absolutely.
really do.
All right. Well, I got two more questions,
Okay.
so I'll lump them both together. I'd love to hear everyone's answer on this. What is something you would like to see added and or removed from your favorite game?
Well, that would require me to have to think of what my favorite game is.
Or just a game in general. You could pick one of the ones that you've played through.
Because, I don't know, when Mass Effect redid that remake, I love every bit of it. I don't know if I would change a thing.
I'm torn between two games. I'm torn between a Fight Night, a GTA, or even a Red Dead Redemption, because it's endless amount of things you can do in those. If it's gonna be Fight Night, I want to be able to move not like a computer. I want it to be more fluid. Make it to where the controller moves when I want it to move, the direction I want to move, not where it's like glitching and like I move and then I pause and then I move again. You know, that kind of stuff.
You know what that sounds like? A bad controller from a PS5.
Most of the PlayStation, that's another thing with the PlayStation's putting them out like that. Most people are having
Quality control issues.
Right.
Mike, you want to chime in on this one?
I gotta think, because it's been a while. I haven't been able to play my favorite games in a very, very long time. So
So what is a favorite game of yours?
Counter-Strike. There's a lot of crap in that game that needs to be changed, fixed, or changes reverted. Yeah. there's a lot there. And
Well, name one of them.
Yeah,
Give us an example.
One of them is their anti-cheat.
I will agree with that one.
Their anti-cheat's garbage, and and their servers are just outdated and slow. The tick rate's just outdated and slow. You cannot do the things that you should be able to do in those servers.
Now, I can tell you guys mine. One thing I would love to see them add for Gears of War is the ability to make custom horde maps for their survival game mode.
Isn't the Coalition saying they're putting that out, though?
That's the theory. Now, that was something that was supposed to release at launch, but the game had bugs, so they focused all the resources.
We stopped playing because of those bugs for quite a while.
We played for the first month of the game being out, beat the campaign in like 2 days, and then stopped playing because the horde aspect was just broken. It wasn't fun.
Oh yeah, you guys would not like the horde the way it used to be.
They completely broke it.
So it was character based. So say if you wanted to play as Marcus was strictly just a veteran class. You didn't have a choice. So you were locked in kind of like how Jack was.
And now here's the thing: if you picked Marcus, that's it. No one else can be a veteran class in the entirety of Horde.
I kind of like that though, because the whole purpose is to have a squad. You can't have 3 Marcuses staring at each other. Who's Marcus? I'm Marcus. No, you're Marcus.
Well, I mean, I think to me the character is just the skin.
No, but keep that in mind.
I'm glad you said that. Why is it in Call of Duty, if you select your character, as soon as you get in the game and you'll see yourself on somebody else's screen, you're not that guy? That's the worst. My gun stays the same, but my character changed. What's the point of letting me choose a character if you're going to change it automatically?
First of all, are you sure you didn't forget to click set as favorite?
Yeah.
So you know the guy I always pick, the Jamaican guy that's on my game.
How do you know he's Jamaican?
I can tell by the jewelry. But, yeah.
Sir, did you just assume his nationality?
I know he is. But yeah, I'll select my guy, see him on your screen, and it's somebody totally different. My gun stays the same. My outfit stays the same. All of that.
I know the answer to this, and this is the absolute factual answer.
You said absolute factual answer, so you can't lie.
It's because you're on a PlayStation.
That could be possible too.
Actually, that's more than likely it.
Yeah, that could definitely be it.
I think that's it, though. I think it's honestly because you're on a PlayStation.
Yeah, because you guys don't deal with a lot of problems that I deal with.
No. I mean, I look at it this way. You just got that system's pretty new for you.
Yeah.
And you just got, and you're having controller problems.
Yeah.
I've had the same controller for 4 years almost.
Close to it.
The Xbox Pro controller.
Mm.
Well, here's the problem. You're on consoles.
Okay, well,
PC Master Race.
Yeah, PC guys.
Yeah, PC definitely came a long way.
You would know if your keyboard's not working. You would know if your mouse isn't working. You know it's not the game.
I just can't do the W's thing to
move.
Good.
Touche.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Because you can't just hang out with a controller. You have to actually physically be paying attention to the game. Like, you can't turn away for a
Honestly,
second. Honestly,
you say that now because you're not used to it.
Well, that's because he has a Mac also. So
it's also very
true. We're not going near that one.
He can't get good on anything, so.
Mac is good for like
nothing.
Videos and stuff like that. If you're gonna edit videos, Mac is the way to go.
Yeah, we're talking about gaming.
See, what you guys
what's it good for in gaming?
You guys having Windows, you got to pay for everything. Viruses, like virus protections, all that kind of stuff. I don't have to.
Just don't go on sketchy websites.
Wait. So you're saying that you don't need?
So if you stay off the hub, Glenn, you won't have a problem.
Orange YouTube, no clicky.
But see, now that being said, what you think you don't get viruses?
Apple gets viruses just like anybody else.
If I do, I don't see it.
It used to be the case where Apple didn't get viruses because Windows was the predominant thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they were written for Microsoft.
Right.
But now that Macs have come up in more of a status symbol and it's more commonplace.
Yeah, just for status symbols. That's it.
So
it's worth it for them to write it in that. The safest one's Linux.
Why do you guys think Windows is better than Mac?
It's a smoother operating system.
I can give you one example. The entirety of Steam's library.
Of what?
Steam's library.
What's that?
Exactly.
I don't know what that is.
Exactly, because you can't play games on your Mac. Steam is another game-based service.
The fact that it's more customizable and optimizable for any purpose is why. Yeah, the Mac is dummy-proof but it's also
That explains why I bought it.
dummy proof.
So, would you guys, if you guys weren't gaming on PC, would you get a Mac or would you still stick with a Windows?
Still stick with
Windows.
Because
Time
if there's
to-
something I want to do, I can do it.
It's time to get with the times there, Glenn.
Now,
I can
Glenn,
upgrade.
Time to get rid of Safari and go for
let me
Google
just put
Chrome.
this. Let me just put this in perspective. How much of an issue do you have setting up your capture card?
It was easy on my PS4. It was I plug and play. This game here is so much that you have to do to get the game to run the way.
Yeah,
you
but
want
you
it
know how long it took us to put our capture card in? 2 seconds.
Well, that's because you guys have the same platform as the last Xbox. PlayStation has a total different platform now as far as like your
But the
home screen and
PlayStation
stuff.
controllers plug straight into a computer.
You have to keep
There's
in
a
mind your
save.
console is a computer.
Yeah.
The PlayStation
Xbox is a better computer.
Yes, it is.
So, would you compare Xbox? Well, Xbox is Microsoft. PlayStation would be what?
What do you mean?
So, like, being that it's you're limited on the things that you can do on a PlayStation that I can't, like you guys can do that I can't do on my PlayStation 5.
All right, so I'll look at it this way: Microsoft Xbox is like a supercomputer, and yours is like some busted Vietnam era shit.
Now, PS4 was a lot easier to operate, and there's more more stuff that
Now-
you can do in there. We had even more memory when the game first came out than it does now.
Hold on. So here's my theory behind it. The reason why your PlayStation has issues is because, again,
Could be the operator.
that's also true.
Wait, what'd you say?
What was that, Dan?
I don't know. What did you hear? I guess he's gonna have to tune back and watch this thing live to get that combo back.
What minute are we at? I gotta remember that section right there, bro.
But no, that being said, your console itself, it's like a Mac. It's a full-fledged computer. It's got components that run and everything, but it comes down to the software. Sony does not want you doing anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Mac does not want you doing anything else unless it's involving another Apple product.
Right.
Apple focuses on their integration across the board, and that's it. Once they have you hooked,
But here's the
it's much
question.
harder to leave.
Why is it integrated? What if you start messing with things, it no longer becomes integrated, and then customer gets mad because iPad doesn't talk to iPhone.
Right.
That's the whole premise is you can use one thing across everything. That's their sales thing. And with Microsoft, it's do whatever you want. You can set it up for this, but you don't have to.
Right.
Do whatever you want. And then Linux, where they have fun, be free.
That's Linux.
But that's the whole thing behind it is Mac doesn't like it because you mess with their stuff, you fucked everything up.
Right.
Whereas Microsoft is just
It's just more user friendly, in my opinion.
So you're saying Windows is probably plug and play as compared to Mac. You got to actually check settings, adjust certain things to make it run properly and all that kind of stuff.
Let's put it this way. With a PC, if you download something that seems a little sketch, but you know it's safe, but obviously the operating system doesn't,
Right.
you click approve or run as an administrator. On a Mac, do you want to download this? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, we downloaded, but nothing's going to work. You have to go into your settings and enable this,
Right,
and
right, yeah,
this.
I do see that.
And
Because
then
you went through a long time getting my computer set
and then
up.
if you want to get it fixed,
And now
you can't
because
fix it yourself.
You gotta
Correct.
take it to an Apple
Yeah,
genius.
yeah.
or you just wipe the computer and start over from scratch.
Which is again why they did that, because they don't want you to fuck you.
Right.
You don't fuck you with it. And that's why.
Right.
All right.
Is there anything going on in chat?
Yeah, someone just said, why are there so many white people? Well,
Right.
Well, to be fair,
To be fair,
Mike's not exactly white either.
Actually, neither is he.
we're him.
Well,
Yeah.
he's.
Who said that?
He's white. He was adopted.
There's 2 white people in this room.
Who said that, Bobby?
Yeah, who said that?
1, half, 2,
I got German in me.
3.
Well, look, what happened to you? What happened to you in Rikers is between you and that German guy.
Oh yeah.
So who said that? Who said that?
Dirt Biker 8.
Dirt Biker 8. Oh, that's a good question, Dirt Biker.
That's a new person, I think. But shout out to you for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. My last question. My very last one, and then Brian, we can move on to you. What would your ideal survival game be? What kind of objective? What kind of gear? What can you build? What can you destroy?
I like Gears 5 the way it is. That's my favorite survival. Horde.
Anything you'd add to it?
More the equipment cards, so you have more of a variety of stuff. So you could pick your own weapon, so you're not restricted either. I hate the Enforcer. I need my Lancer.
Glenn?
For me, it's gonna be Fight Night. I need a good boxing game online to where I have an online record.
With the survival game?
World. Huh?
As a survival aspect?
You gotta survive in the ring.
You got a point.
That's some bullshit.
Man, you don't box, that's why. But yeah, that's what it'd be for me. But if you want something where it's actually survival, where I have to build stuff, and actually avoid certain things, it'd be like a Grand Theft Auto. How about this? What if it was Grand Theft Auto, but where it was like crime was at a crazy rate? So you got to build your house, board it up, and all that kind of stuff, keep people out, but also anything that could possibly happen in real life.
So Purge became a game.
Right. Like that.
Or like
Isn't that essentially any battle royale game?
Not necessarily, because you're actually in a home. You can get in your car. You have to build your car up to where there's bars on the windows. Like, just stuff that could actually be something you would have to do in real life if
Rust.
the world became of that.
Rust.
What's that?
Rust.
It's another online game.
It's basically like that, where you're building everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody can just stroll by and take all your shit.
Yes.
I like that. Something like
Now,
that, then.
That's it. I think. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Left 4 Dead 2
that's
is
a
a
good
very
one.
similar one to what you're saying, except instead of being more crime here, it's zombies there. But you
Yeah.
still have to build from nothing,
Right.
or find something.
Right.
You want to use that house? Go ahead, but they're gonna break down that wall if you don't fortify it.
There's a few good games that
You
are
wanna
like
use a
that.
base- you
Far
want-
Cry.
You want to beat people with baseball bats? Beat people with a baseball bat. Be my guest.
I want to beat people with a baseball.
But
Of
you
course.
can build up. You don't have to. You want to use the golf club? Go for it. You want to build some fancy schmancy thing? Go for it.
Right.
Now, for me, I do like the Horde style of gameplay.
Mm.
Okay, I do like how it is wave-based. I do like how, obviously, it can get more difficult and it's randomized.
Right.
You know, obviously, you've seen us play. Mike, Brian, I've played with you guys. Every 10th wave out of the 50 is a boss.
Mm.
Why don't they make an endless mode? Go as far as you can go and let it keep getting more difficult. Now, on top of that,
That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
now on top of that, throw in the battlefield aspect, like the maps that you'd have for Battlefield, where you can literally pick any spot on the map to build your base, more or less, but a wall's not going to protect you from something that's destructive.
My walls will.
That sounds like Left 4 Dead.
Or Last of Us.
Last was a good one.
Yeah, that is a good game.
That's kind of one thing I don't like about that is if I'm doing a survival type game like that, I don't want timed bosses. I want them to be random.
Right.
But as you go, they get harder. The longer time frame, if a boss appears, it's not at 5 minutes you get a boss. It can happen 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes. But the longer you go, the harder they get. Every 5 minutes increases difficulty, or
Right.
whatever.
For when the boss
So
does eventually spawn.
spontaneity
Yeah.
of a boss. I
It's like you
that.
could go 50 rounds without a boss, and then that last boss is just
Yeah, 'cause
god tier.
I like the RNG aspect of it, where you don't know what's gonna come at you.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that.
If you know what's coming at you, then you can prepare for it.
So it's like, yeah. So if the Gears took that and made it more spontaneous, like when a boss would appear, I think it would be perfect then.
Like, you'll be sitting here, you'll be fighting the ward, and all of a sudden, Matriarch appears, and then you'll go 15 minutes just sitting there, strolling around, beating things with a hammer or whatever the fuck you do.
Actually, you know what would be interesting? Is if they did that, but instead of it being 50 wave based, it's boss kill based. You have to kill 5 bosses, but they can come in at any point in time.
Right.
And the longer you wait in between bosses, the harder they get.
Kind of like Call of Duty Zombies, right? What
Right.
is it?
The world tiers and stuff like that from
yeah, what mode
Outbreak.
is that?
For
Yeah,
Outbreak.
I kind of like that idea where you could be strolling down, you see something that you really don't want to see right there, and you could choose to fight it, or you could choose to go around it.
Right.
Certain things will force you to fight it because you have to go through here, but you might see it this time, you might not see it next time.
Right. Should be like random, like just, you know, periodically, you know, certain things happen. Maybe the boss will chase you, something like that. Like, not where you have to actually go and find him. That guy could be actually hunting you, something like that.
But what they should do too is, if that's the case, make it where, again, like Call of Duty, if you decide to take him down, the reward's worth it.
Right.
And I think a lot of that is also missing in some games too.
Right.
Where you get to the point where you do see a boss or an enemy or something, and you choose to fight it. What do you gain from it?
Right.
Now here's the thing I do want to see. I do want to see durability of items. If I'm using this gun, I want it to get dirty. I want it to get messed up. I want to have to take the time to maintain it.
So like how Breath of the Wild was, Zelda Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild.
Not even just that,
Or-
or you can go to the extent of Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
The more you
Red
use
Dead had
the
that
more
too.
you
Red
use the
Dead
item,
totally
the
does.
less damage it
But
does.
the more you use it, the better you get with it.
Yeah, it should be one of those things where you have to perfect that. Like, you actually...
You get better with it.
Actually,
Yeah.
that would be cool, especially with some guns and whatnot. You can have your base recoil is insane.
Exactly.
But the more time you put into the gun, the actual stats of the gun will
Like,
change to you.
Well, Grand Theft Auto does that, but it doesn't feel like it really does. It does anything.
Like I'm using an example here. If you go in with a sword, I'm gonna use a sword or a machete or axe or something. 90% of you have probably tried to use an axe. You go in with an axe, you chop wrong. How many times have you screwed up an axe cut?
Mm-hmm.
But then, the more you're splitting wood, the better you get
Right.
at it. It becomes second nature.
Mhm.
But the more you use it, the duller your axe is gonna get.
Right.
So you have to take the time to sharpen it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like
The-
Monster
The
Hunter.
handle breaks, you gotta replace it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got someone in chat.
What's going on?
Mike, I'm leaving this one to you to answer.
Uh-oh.
So, Glenn, if you want to give him more of the mic for this one, feel free.
Careful, don't break my
Let's try,
set
let's
again.
try this again.
Remove the strap on the bottom. All right.
Don't break my shit.
All right.
You're good.
We have Manuel on here who says Apex Legends is the best game. Period. Change my mind.
I've never played it, so I can't answer this. This is definitely all you.
Clearly, you've never played a good game.
no,
No, Apex is an alright game, but it's just
Isn't it like
it's
Fortnite?
it's not.
In terms
Oh,
of
wait a
Battle
minute,
Royale, yeah.
Manuel. I think that's Tony.
That is tough.
That's Tony from
No.
from work.
Now here's the thing about
Keep that
Apex.
Apex out of here, Tony.
Here's the thing about Apex. It's very specific, very targeted, and there's no diversity in that game. It's this is your objective, get it done repeatedly, redundantly. It's always there's what 3 different maps.
I like I said,
I've played it
I've never
like
played Apex.
twice a year
It's
ago.
the same thing over and over, and that's the part that I don't really like about it. Is yeah, it's a survival. Yes, I get it. It's an arena type game, but there's only so much you can do. It's always the same thing over and over. That's why I got bored with PUBG. That's what Fortnite. That's a whole other story on why I don't like that one. But
I thought they were exactly the same, honestly. Apex and Fortnite.
Apex, guns, Fortnite, build and shoot.
so that's kind of why. And also, once you start adding abilities onto the characters, you have to nerf one, you have to buff one, you have to go into this guy just being completely ridiculous, hitbox sizes. It's a whole lot of stuff that you have to balance out that just isn't properly balanced. And on top of that, the redundancy of it all. It's great for competition. It's a competitive game. That's what it's designed for, and that's why it's fantastic. But the game sucks in terms of what else you can do with it.
Right. So
I can agree with that.
That's exactly.
I got to take y'all's word for it. I never played.
Yeah, I never played it either. They've been trying to get me to play it. I think I'm gonna just give it a try, and then if I don't like it,
It is free to play.
yeah.
And I'm
So
not
it's
going to lie to you,
Fortnite.
it is fun. It is fun. But it's definitely not the best game out there. It wouldn't even place in the top 10.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You heard that,
Maybe
Tony?
top 20. Maybe top 20.
And it'd be number 20.
It would put...
It's 21.
You heard that, Tony? So if he ever comes and needs his gun clean, don't do it.
I'll have Brian do it.
No, but that's actually a good question to put up too.
Yeah, it is.
You know, everybody has their taste in games and whatnot. So the
Well, I
question
know-
is-
I know
You guys
most
are more
of-
into shooter games. I'm more into sport games.
Actually, no, I'm not.
What are you
more
more
into shooter games. I'm more into story-based games.
So you
RPG
play the
also.
story mode. I'm usually playing people online.
Warframe.
We'd have to get him in from
It's a
from
free to
start.
play PC game. And
Xbox and it's cross-platform.
Okay, thank you. All right, then I'll try it. As long as I can play it on console.
they changed it? Should be.
All right, you guys figure your shit out, and then I'll think.
But it's a fun game. It has a lot of story, but it also has a lot of action to it.
Because I was playing that one game that you guys all play too. The one where you're like Outworlders or some shit. What was that one game? Rift or something? No, what was that? I don't even know. Well, you can make a guy look like a cowboy dude. And we were playing that one level in the sewers.
Oh,
What game was that?
what's the game that we're... Remnant.
Oh, Remnant. Yeah.
That's it. Remnant.
So you guys were never like into like the Tony Hawk games,
Nah.
BMX.
All right, SSX.
Okay.
I never was any good at those games.
Yeah, they were hard. Like combination games. I don't really don't like combination games like that, but as a kid, they were fun.
No, I love games with puzzles in them too. Hard ass puzzles. I love that shit.
That's why I like Grand Theft Auto though, because like when you do heists or anything like that, it's strategic. If you have to have a good team around you, same thing with Battlefield. If we had this many people, we're all in the same accord. We have to strategize to make the game work. I don't really like a game. That's why I don't like story mode. Story mode, I'm relying on whoever else is in the story mode to actually be good. I gotta go pick this guy up. Now I'm changing
So
what
why
I
don't
actually
you
want to
just
do.
get good then?
Why don't you fuck off?
But see, at that point, that's where it comes down to content. You know, if the story is that good and that engaging, and that's actually one of the reasons why I like the Gears of War franchise.
Yeah, their story
playing
is
Gears of War
fantastic.
from the very beginning, dude, the story just grabs you.
That was my first
Rest
time
in peace,
playing
you
Gears.
want
Rest in
more.
peace, Dom.
Absolutely, and I will admit, 2 times I shed a tear. Dom's wife dying, and spoiler alert, when Dom died.
Thanks, I haven't played the fucking story modes yet.
You're still gonna enjoy it.
You guys are
I'm not
good
gonna
at
play it,
spoiling fucking things.
Why are you looking at me? What did I do?
You spoiled Darth Vader for me.
First
Me
of all,
and Tamer.
everybody knows that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I only saw one Star Wars, and he wasn't in it, so I would never have known
In all
that.
fairness, you find that out like 15 years ago, so you're a bit late to the party on that one.
Yeah, I just started watching Star Wars thanks to you, Brian. First one I had seen was what was that one with the kid I was telling you about?
Episode 1.
Yeah, that's what you call it, episode 1. Tony, did that change your mind?
It's not going to change his mind, and I'm not expecting to, but...
Well, Tony? What did you think about what he said?
Oh, he's going to call me the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
I kind of want to see his response now.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm assuming he's going
Going
to
right?
be along the lines of
Huh?
fuck yourself.
You going on?
Yeah, I guess I'll start my.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Hey
So-
Dan, can you hit me?
Yeah.
I am more on the political aspect of things, and I don't know who's been watching the news lately, if anybody, because it can get depressing at times.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't have time to watch the news.
But recently, Representative Ilhan Omar of our outstanding Congress decided to compare the United States to known terrorist organizations such as Hamas, ISIS, etc. And the Democratic Party with Nancy Pelosi just kind of played it off. It's like, oh, well, she apologized sort of on Twitter, so we're just going to let it go. Would you let it go? I wouldn't.
That goes back to what I was saying last week as far as other countries considering Americans to be bullies. That's what I look at.
But
that
she
like.
isn't American.
What I'm,
She's an American. She's an immigrant. She immigrated, I think, from Syria.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, no, she's an alien. From the Badger people world. But, well, that was, yeah, so Nancy Pelosi's not even human. So,
Lizard people.
lizard people, exactly. So, she also said in the same comment that women of color and Muslim women especially don't really get a say in Congress. Now, obviously, we don't work in Congress, so we don't know if that's the truth. But do you think that's the case in life nowadays? I don't think that's true. I think everybody gets an equal share in what they want to say. Maybe.
it's
Maybe, I don't know.
marginalized. It's marginalized as far as what you can say, how you can say it, who you're saying it to.
But that's because everybody's afraid of cancel culture now. Which
think-
I'm sure I'm skating on the line of
Well,
right now.
Here's the thing. There is an unconscious bias. There is an unconscious bias.
But you think it's because of her religion?
No. Culture difference. It's not the fact that they're biased against her. It's that there's this unconscious bias where we don't do things this way, so it's a foreign thing. Collectively.
No, I'm sure there are senators and Congress people that are biased based on her ethnicity
but
and
as a society,
religion.
that's how we are. You think different than us. We don't process the information the same.
But do you think that she should have gotten some repercussion by saying that against the United States? Or do you think it falls under her First Amendment right just to say it?
You gotta let people say what they're gonna say and have your opinion on it. You can't say she's wrong. You can't say she's right.
People are going for blood now on the Republican aspect of it.
Oh, of course.
Well, I definitely asked for clarification.
She won't. She won't do it.
Which that's what it is.
Because as soon as you ask any of her, whether it's Rashida Tlaib, Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, if you ask her for clarification, well, then you're racist, you're mansplaining, you're a Trump supporter, you should just go jump off a bridge and die. That's how they look at all of us Republicans.
Oh yeah, no, I know, I get that. That's I'm just saying the right thing to do there.
Right.
Well, you're saying this, but what's driving you to say this? We can't solve a problem if we don't know what the problem is.
Well, you know what their problem is they still, for some reason, think that we give a shit about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is one man.
But we don't know what specifically is her great.
No, she's pretty vocal about what her problems with the United States are, which is a lot. And too much to go in on this particular day, but I guess we could dedicate a day to Ilhan Omar, which I never thought I'd ever say.
I'm definitely not going to be here for that.
No, I think I might actually miss that podcast myself. But all right, so do you think the United States is like terrorist organizations? In similar values, maybe? I don't know.
It's too many people involved.
There's too many sides to the coin.
Yeah.
Per se.
It's like
it all comes via
you got some people that want to go to war. You got some people that want to save the money and not go to war. You got some people that don't care. So it's hard to say. It's too.
But does war determine whether or not you're a quote unquote terrorist organization?
Depends why you're going to war.
Also, all those organizations.
Producer is giving secret signs over there.
He's playing charades. All those organizations, they all stand for something different. That's why I'm saying we need clarification. ISIS, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, they all want something different, so we can't compare them.
Right.
What makes us like that if we don't know what
yeah, because when she's saying something like that, it's kind of a broad statement.
Yeah, like yes, it's a shock value of it all, but what part of it? Or is it just we're terrorists, period? Because if that's the question, by definition, yeah.
But what are we doing in America that makes us come off as terrorists? Well, what's being done? If you watch ISIS...
If you watch them, and you listen to the squad, as they're called, it's because of white privilege, racism, being a Republican, being a gun owner. It's basically, if you're a Republican, then you should just commit seppuku, and the world will be a better place.
Mm.
Now, that being said, isn't that idealism that they have more or less the same as what these terrorist groups have?
So you would say that the DNC runs more like a terrorist organization then?
To a degree, the way they pronounce it and make it seem like. These are what I believe in, and if you don't believe in them, you're wrong.
But what is America?
And there is no right.
What are Americans doing? Like, are we going to other countries, bombing anything? Are we crashing planes into it? Are we doing any of this kind of stuff?
We are the closest we've ever been to war with Russia and China, and that's that. And honestly, people really should be afraid.
Oh yeah, the power that Russia has and the technology that China has,
and it's not just that. It's the nukes. Honestly, it's the nukes.
And in that sense, what is the definition of terrorism that she's using? Because
you can't ask her because it's your mansplaining.
Now here's what it is here. First off, every country has their own definition of terrorism.
Right.
Every organization within America has their own definition of terrorism, but generally speaking, it's using the violence or fear or threat of violence to affect a political outcome or gain. By that definition, kind of.
Yeah, I get it.
But that's from the eyes of the beholder.
But I think she's just focusing.
Everyone is a terrorist if you're going by that definition, because somebody is feeling threatened, or every nation rather. Every nation is feeling threatened by the threat of violence from another nation.
Right.
For a political outcome.
But is she just fear mongering though?
Yeah.
By saying stuff like that.
She's using trigger words on definitions that people misunderstand and are
Right, but okay, so say Donald Trump said that.
Well, the world would be burning if that was the case. Look what happened last time.
If Donald Trump, or let's not even just use him, we'll just use any Republican, Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, who I fucking love. I love Ted Cruz. I think he's an amazing senator. If he said something to that effect, holy shit, there'd be a headhunt for this guy. The DNC would be sending out their lynch mobs for this guy.
Oh, yeah. That's just double standard, though.
Yeah, it is, but that's who I think she meant it towards people with more Republican values. Not the United States as the United States.
I think at that point, too, it's just they're picking and choosing words to rile people up. Specifically.
Well, that's a strong word. Terrorist is a strong word.
Right.
Well,
because you're automatically going to think something negative. When somebody puts terrorist in the sentence, you're automatically going to think something negative about it.
But
Correct.
She's being very vague about it all.
Right.
She's not being specific. She's not giving examples. She's not doing this. She's using it as a play.
So do you think she's stirring the pot?
Of course.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what her and the squad love to do. They love to stir the pot.
Court of public opinion. If you're able to get the uninformed public involved, then.
But again, though, can we
Swaying
really get that angry? Because we all say that they should follow the Constitution. Technically, they are under the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things we got to look at it like this. It's just words. There's no action there. If you're not explaining it, then you're speaking what's on your mind.
Right.
That's one mind, not a group of people saying this and they're all agreeing with you, or you have an organization that's all coming together saying the same exact thing.
They do. It's the Democratic Party.
Now here's my thought.
And even that is getting divided.
But here's my part on what she said. Constitutionally, fine. However, professionally,
absolutely.
That's a different story. Professionally, it's unprofessional and it's.
And again, you're just trying to separate this country.
Yeah, and given her position, I think it's owed an apology or at least a clarification.
Right. Nope. The old lizard Nancy said no. She doesn't have to give anything.
She said what she said, and
because she tried. She said she redacted it on Twitter. I don't know exactly her exact words. But it was
her version of redacted is probably deleted.
What I heard, it was a half-assed redaction, and Nancy was like, "Yeah, that's good enough."
Sorry, I had a little bit of cough there.
Nancy was like, "Yeah, that's good enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
we're gonna move on.
We'll figure it out."
And let's move on to the next part because I know a lot of us guys from work are watching and whatnot. The pistol brace ban that the ATF is throwing out there now.
All right, elaborate.
Anything there, Dan? Before we
go? So as far as a battle royale goes, it is the best compared to other games. I believe it up there. Are there any better games? But it's still a contender to the top game currently in terms of battle royale.
So I guess the number one battle royale game would be Fortnite, wouldn't it be?
Technically, it's Warzone.
Yeah,
Warzone beat out Fortnite.
Yeah, Warzone definitely.
Warzone's the top one. However, Warzone is horribly optimized. Apex is horribly balanced. Is the issue.
But very well optimized.
PUBG is arguably, in terms of gameplay,
correct.
Is probably the best, but, and here's the big but before you start typing, put the keyboard down. But it's very lackluster. They got that way because it's simple, and it took 4 years for them to get all those bugs and optimization out of the way. So that's kind of what. If you're talking objectively speaking, PUBG is the best one out there because of its structure.
Right.
And and it still has bugs, but the lack of bugs. Apex, the balance throws everything off there. Fortnite, it's constantly being updated with BS, and their guns are constantly being nerfed, and it's inconsistent. And that's another thing. For the best, you want it to be consistent. If it's not consistent, then it's constantly shifting and everything. Yeah, the changes are great. Yeah, hurrah, hurrah. But how can you say you're the best if you're still pushing out these tweaks in your own things? It's completely personal opinion on that right, and if you bring it to an objective level, it has too many imbalances for it to be the best. But it's definitely up there in terms of competitive battle royales.
Yeah.
That's a solid answer.
That's solid.
That was a good one there.
And for the record, I do come from a competitive gaming background, so this is I've had this argument way too many times.
Hence why I gave control of this conversation to him.
Since we're on topic, would you say that Warzone took Fortnite's idea and put it into Call of Duty?
No. Fortnite's big stitch originally with their whole campaign mode is a defensive platformer where you can also build your base more or less. Fortnite's main thing is building, and it has become a shootout where building is just a secondary nature that is more defensively at that point with quick buildings. You're not building a house to defend, you're building it to just block shots.
However, now they shifted it to where the building is offensive.
Correct.
You're using it to gain ground.
Correct.
So it became a building simulator with some shooting,
Right.
as opposed to the other way around, like some other games are. You know, some games you can fucking build a wall here. It takes time to build the wall, and it's a defensive measure. You're not building over top of the other person to block them out.
So it's safer to say that Call of Duty may have taken some ideas from Fortnite?
Well, Call of Duty was around well before Fortnite.
But
was.
Fortnite was the only one you were jumping out of some type of moving machine.
No.
No, PUBG.
All right, so yeah, but I mean, as far as Call of Duty,
I don't even
able
look
to do
at
that
Call of
before.
Duty and Fortnite in the same category.
Remember, you were in that blimp jumping out of Fortnite. They added a plane that you're jumping out of in Call of Duty now. That was
You're
never
out
a
of
thing.
plane jumping out of it, going into PUBG.
Right, so that would, yeah, but I mean, what game is bigger, Call of Duty or PUBG?
PUBG.
But PUBG's the original. Well, second. H1Z1 was the first one with a plug-in. So technically speaking, it is the first game. But
Yeah. H1Z1 had their main game, and then that was a feature that they added.
that's why
people loved
PlayerUnknown
it.
is the dev.
Yeah.
That's why it's PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
Okay.
Because he's the developer for the H1Z1 game.
Right.
And started off from there.
Correct. Now, that being said, did Call of Duty come in and perfect a lot of the issues? Absolutely. You know, but I will give them this. Verdansk stayed Verdansk for way too long.
Right.
Where Fortnite has changed their maps around
Quite a bit.
how many times? You know,
Quite a
that's
bit.
what it really comes down to. And I don't know about PUBG in that aspect or Apex.
Well,
Either way.
let's go back and kill the mood here with the ATF because they like to kill everybody's mood. So they're proposing, if it hasn't already been passed, I have to check it, a pistol brace ban on. Basically, it's to make AR-15 platforms with a pistol brace illegal.
What is their definition for that? What is their reasoning? What is their
Their reasoning is because they can,
well,
and
They
because
wanna be in control.
and because Sippy Cup Joe is telling them to do it.
But
That's their way around it. First of all, the ATF already voted on this years ago, and this was how they got through that whole, SBR and all that other crap. They're now being told by the Democratic Convention to reclassify everything until you get to the narrative that we want it to be. And essentially, it'll make every pistol AR illegal. There's no way you could actually, with the point system and the parameters that they're putting out, most of people who own AR-15s, mine was lost in a boating accident, very tragic. I needed an anchor, and it was the closest thing there, and it's gone now. I mean, no, it's just a shame, really.
Fully semi-automatic hand machine guns.
probably right next to the Titanic you were talking about.
Yeah, I wasn't around the Mariana Trench when I had to use that.
Fully semi-automatic lever action magazines.
And I hit a rogue wave and it fell right overboard. It was a shame. I was hunting the famous white whale,
Better that than you.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't own one of those.
Swimming with the Paleoplurodons now, man.
So I mean, Glenn, you and I are in this industry for a living, and we see people buying these guns all the time.
Right.
Are they wasting their money?
If they're like us, no.
Well, I lost mine.
Well, I mean,
So he in turn lost his money.
Yeah, so.
You lost your money. I'm not losing my money.
Well, I'm sure the fish of the Mariana Trench will enjoy mine.
This is the thing. What makes that gun be so dangerous?
They're saying concealability.
A gun is a gun.
Right. And my thing is, and honestly, a pistol, in my opinion, is more concealable than an AR-15.
Right.
But they don't like it because it's mean and scary.
We get one shot at a time out of this thing.
Well, hold on. Well, if that's being said, their whole thing is concealability. Who conceals them?
Right.
Murderers, right?
Right.
First of all, most murders aren't even done with an AR-15. They're done with a pistol.
Right. Or revolver.
How often?
Well, we're talking about pistols, though.
Well, how often?
Again, I'm playing the devil's advocate here.
No, it's not.
I'm just doing this because we need something.
But holding something with one hand that you can control compared to something you're holding with two, nobody's walking around in a trench coat like that.
So there's things called, there's firearms called others, which are required to have a front forward grip by law.
Right.
Well, that's 4 points. So automatically your gun's illegal and considered an SBR or whatever.
And that's just
and now you have to pay a tax stamp on it.
Right.
I mean, this is the closest we've come to in a long time with the absolute abolishment of the Second Amendment.
But with California's new law in place, that gives at least a footing.
Right.
Because that's a state level decision. Next step is federal court.
Right.
So if somebody was to appeal this,
and
then they're using that as case law.
I know exactly who's going to appeal this. It's the Firearms Coalition.
Right.
They're the ones fighting this. And if you go to their website and make sure you shoot them a donation, we're not sponsored by them, but they are a great organization and an amazing 2A people. So check them out.
You should just be able to have whatever you have as long as you can have it. Have it. If you can't, you're at your own risk. But as far as us being legally able to have a gun, why limit what we can do on there? So you get your gun set up. You get your gun set up to what they come up with, just say 2 years ago. Now you get all that on there. Now they change it. Now you got to change all of this stuff.
You can't. It's illegal. Every item you own is illegal at that point. So you have to give it back with no compensation for it.
Good luck.
And
So that's where I was going with this whole court case legality thing. Is there's grounds for this to be thrown up before it even hits the docket, because it is already a state level decision. There is the highest court in the state decided, hey, we're doing this. This is what we're saying. Well, I don't know if it's the highest court, but it becomes case law.
Right.
So
Case precedence is the basis for legality.
And look, my thing is getting rid of something like a pistol brace on the end of your AR-15 is not going to stop crime.
Right.
Let's be real here. The whole point of this is to disarm America.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how socialism will leak into this country, is because we have no way to fight back now.
Right.
And that all goes back to we need people to defend our rights as Americans.
In the right places.
Because I guarantee you, once they start going for guns, they're going to go for bows.
Good fucking luck. You're not tracked.
Well, to be fair,
Not yet.
an AR-15 technically isn't either.
Right.
There's no massive registry database that exists. Now, there is a website that was, I believe it was called, you could buy it 80% lower. There's no serial number, but it's monetized on their website, and it does have a list. And that's another part of that they're going for, that they want to get rid of the 80% build. They don't want you manufacturing your own firearm in your home.
Block metal.
But my thing is,
paperweight.
it's intent also. I have the intent to build a firearm and take it to a gun range.
Right.
I have the intent for it to look cool sitting there on my desk.
But you can't lump me into people with intent to harm others. That's not right.
Right, yeah. Not everybody has an intent to do something negative with their firearm or anything like that. You're just assuming that everybody's going to use it for the same exact thing.
Right.
Some people are using it for home protection. Some people are using it because it's a hobby. Some people are fascinated by firearms.
Right.
Well, here's a question I have about that. What are you going to use when you have a hog infestation? In the Midwest, you have a swarm. You have a, what are they called? Swarm of hogs in your pasture right
That
there,
works.
running around destroying everything,
Right.
causing millions of dollars in damage that the government's going to have to pay for. And you're destroying all the crops and land and all this shenanigans, destroying all the government stuff too.
Well,
You have to take them all out right here because they're going to be really, really pissed.
Right.
And you have to take out, 3 out of 5 of them to even make a dent in the population.
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, if you look
if you
at,
want me to use muzzleloader, good fucking luck taking down this population.
well, I mean,
You know, we just carry 3 of them on me.
You know what's
I
gonna
don't know if
happen?
you know that wild hogs have actually started coming up. They're in South Jersey now.
Yeah.
And now Murphy wants to get rid of all 50 caliber weapons, which is what most muzzle loaders are, which is one of the only rifles you can hunt with in New Jersey. So now, what are we going to do? You know, now we're going to get way overpopulated.
What's going to happen is you're going to have people using too small of a caliber, and people are going to start being hurt.
And at that point, so's the animal.
Right.
And as a hunter, we don't want animals to suffer.
Right.
You know,
You want it nice and quick, and
Because
done
there's a-
right.
Look at Mr. Snuggles up here.
no, I don't know. Skip
He-
shot
he-
that fucker with
no.
a 500 mag.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire
It's
nice
quite
gun.
Might use a
painless.
golf club on this guy right
But I mean, is this pistol brace ban, if it even goes through, going to make a difference? I mean, like we said in the first podcast, who's going to comply?
Right.
That's
I'm
the
not-
thing. And
it-
what's
now,
the
it'd be-
ATF going to do? Arrest everybody?
It would be one thing if you were being compensated something back, then maybe you have a 50-50 chance.
But
But you're not.
now here's another question I have, and this is more of a technical question on that. Okay, you ban these arm braces. What about the gas tube now? What are you going to do? Are you just going to let it knock people out and then go out? Like you're going to
No,
make some sort of
they
other
seize the
buffer?
whole firearm.
No. I'm saying AR platforms. Okay, fine. No pistol braces. Whatever. Now you just have this giant rod sticking out the back.
No, you can put a stock. See, the problem is,
But that
though,
becomes a rifle.
exactly, which becomes then you have an SBR. So
But that's what I'm saying. Is
now
you're
if
maintaining this pistol. Are you going to put a butt plate on it to protect some, or some sort of
no, the ATF is just going to lock you up and throw away the key. That's what they're going to do.
exactly?
And that's what it comes down to. If
that's
the
what I
ATF knocks on your door, make sure you ask through a closed door, do you have a warrant?
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's besides the point. But where I was going with that is basically, even if they do, there's going to be something similar, but not the same there.
Right.
When they banned stocks on pistols, something similar but not the same.
Right.
It's a storage mechanism because you store a gun upright.
Yep.
That's an example.
I just think it's a rabbit hole that they're just going to keep digging and making it deeper and deeper and
You
deeper.
have a rear-mounted tripod, a rear-mounted bipod.
Got anything in the chat there?
Mio said wild boar infestations.
Yeah, we're there.
That's a big thing.
I will tell you one thing.
And they're nasty too. They'll kill
Oh,
you.
yeah.
They'll
Oh,
kill
they
your
taste
dogs.
so
They'll kill
good.
your pets. Yeah, they do taste good as hell. Though.
It tastes phenomenal.
And this is recorded then. Every state has a database on how much damage these boars have done.
Right.
Ask your insurance. You can call your insurance. Hey, how much damage does boar do? Guaranteed, whoever you're talking to is going to probably cry at the number when they see it.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't
All
be
right.
surprised.
So other things that happened recently is Chlamydia Harris, or Kamala Harris, if you want to be politically correct, went down to Guatemala recently to talk to the Guatemalan president, who basically laughed her out of the country. When she was in a meeting, or a news briefing, I should say, with a news anchor, they questioned her on why she hasn't been to the border yet. And she goes, well, we have been to the border. And the news anchor said, well, you haven't. And she responded, well, I haven't been to Europe either. And kind of just laughed it off. I don't know if that's a topic that somebody in her status should just laugh off. I mean, this is a serious epidemic that's happening at our
Right.
southern borders.
Right.
We are having record numbers of illegal immigration that are coming through.
Which limits
And
Americans.
the children are being trafficked. And she's laughing it off.
Well, furthermore, that's one of her prime things that she was running on the basis of. She's running on the basis of the whole border thing, which is, let's be honest, that was one of her main selling points there. Why isn't she there?
Because she can't go.
Regardless of what she's saying or who she's or whatever she's saying about it is, that's her opinions, legality of what's going on, situation, whatever that. That was her whole running thing. If you're running on that, you should be there.
She cannot go because then she'd actually have to fix the problem. Because according to her and the Biden administration, the rest of them, there is no problem.
But then you're opening, by saying all that, you're opening a door that you literally have no answers for.
Right.
But at the same time, by not
she
doing
is
anything,
all about her
answering.
image.
Right.
And if her image gets tarnished, she gets all this.
Because she's saying this and she's not even going to go down there and look.
No, she's not going to go.
Not even go down there and say hi.
If she went and looked, she'd have to admit fault, and she won't do that.
But now she has to admit fault for lying on her campaign.
Right.
About a trip.
Well, no, they did go when she was a senator. She did go.
Yeah,
and
well, that wasn't her.
That was Joe and Barry's camps down there, and let's call it what it is. They're basically like concentration camps. These children are living in hospitable conditions, especially with COVID-19. You know, that must be a COVID-19 like hive down there. You know, and the fact that, you know, Kamala can look at the news, if she even watches it for that matter, and see children stranded in the deserts crying, why did they leave me here? And not feel any kind of empathy just goes to show you people who voted for her should kind of honestly, in my opinion, feel a little bit ashamed for themselves. Because this is your fault, too. You allowed this presidency to come in and do this, whether you like Trump or not. I mean, I didn't care for Trump as a person, but I did agree with his policies and politics. I do agree also that he should have kept his mouth shut a lot more than he did. But we didn't have a border crisis. We were on the precipice of war with Russia and China. He held NATO accountable for everything. There wasn't millions and millions of pounds of fentanyl coming through the border, killing millions of Americans, and she laughs it off like it's a joke.
That's what people do. It's like a nervous tick. People laugh at things when they don't have an answer for it. They're on the spot. It's to take the eye off of you.
But in fact, since you're doing it on a news platform, all it's going to do is have those eyes not leave you now.
Exactly. It's a bad tactic.
All right. Guys, Mio did respond. She said, diseases, crop destruction, trampled small cattle, not fun. That's what these wild boar are doing.
Oh, they're terrible.
Well, it's also what the illegal migration is. But I digress. Never mind. I didn't say that. What? Who said that? You said that.
No, but also keep this in mind too. They let this happen in the middle of a pandemic.
Even if there wasn't a pandemic, the fact that it's being allowed to happen.
Right.
Well, like we it's like, and I like how she goes on the news and says, don't come. Do not come. Well, they're already fucking here.
Right.
They're already here. And they're going to listen to you now. These people are thinking they're actually coming here seeking asylum. And the president of Guatemala looked at her in the face and said, bitch, this is your fault.
Now,
you and Joe screwed up.
I want to just point one thing out. I am adopted, and my mom did immigrate here from the Philippines the right way, and she hates the fact that all this shit is going down.
I don't blame her, because it discredits people who came here the right way.
Right.
You know, I was talking to our coworker Bobby about this, who's also Filipino, and he said this. He agreed. It discredits people who immigrate to this country and put that hard work in. Because it is. It's a lot of hard work to become a citizen in this country.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, years and years and years of waiting, even. But they stuck it out and they did it the right way. Now, if you're truly, truly seeking asylum, and I get it, the cartels in Mexico, I would want to seek asylum too.
Right.
But that's what our border crossings are for. Seek asylum the right way. Then the United States will embrace you with open arms. That's what we were built for.
Right.
We were built for every culture, creed, color, race, religion. That's why this country's so great.
That's a misconception about border security. It's not about keeping people, it's about funneling people the right way.
Right. And getting the right people here. You got people that's in the cartel and all that kind of stuff that want to come
MS-13
here. You do the
is
same thing here.
Flooding the border. MS-13 is flooding the border with fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you the statistic is I think 53 million Americans have died from fentanyl. Well, that was also their choice to stick the needle in their arm.
Right.
Well,
So
most of them didn't know they were sticking fentanyl in their arm.
But they were still doing illegal narcotics.
But most of them weren't expecting fentanyl in their arm.
True. but the point is, don't do it.
If you're drinking that wine and suddenly I put rubbing alcohol
Iocane powder.
if I put rubbing alcohol in there and you're drinking it, suddenly you're like, what the hell is this? You didn't sign up to drink rubbing alcohol. You tried to drink a nice glass of wine.
The point is, you shouldn't be doing illegal narcotics either.
Well, but that has nothing to do. That's a whole other conversation. I'm talking specifically about the fact that they asked for it, but that's not what they wanted.
No, they just wanted to get a buzz off of heroin.
Yeah.
We know somebody like that.
I will say this: one of the proudest moments of my life is when my grandmother finally became a citizen.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The right way.
The right way.
I would feel proud too if I was in your shoes.
Of course. After you waited that whole time and you did everything you were supposed to be doing, and it finally comes through for you.
My grandmother finally became a citizen about 3.5 years ago.
Mm.
She's been in this country for almost 20 years.
It's a process.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, for young men, the easiest process to get in is to join the military because it's
Right.
instant citizenship.
Right.
But that's a lot to ask for.
Yeah.
Especially
Put your life
because
on the
we're-
line for something that you don't even know what you're putting it on for. You just know that America's the land of the free.
But you know what?
So
you know what it
do
is? There's people who do it, and they do it because they know it's worth it.
Right. They do. And that goes to show you and that's what makes our military so great.
But another thing is, we're not the only country that does that. Look at the French Foreign Legion. Well, okay, maybe don't look at them. From a guide to citizenship perspective, they have that option. They have had that perspective for a very long time. Where do your time, now you're one of us.
Well, so look at the UK and some of the other European EU states. You cannot become a citizen unless you have a job role that they think is important.
Right.
Do you think that's good too?
It eliminates you from coming here and standing around to try to find work. If you already have a field to go in, they know what your idea is. You have to have a plan to come to America. That makes sense. And
Your benefit to society at that point.
Right.
Right.
I don't necessarily think that I like that idea where it's like I don't necessarily agree with the fact that hey, you need to be in one of these designated fields, but you have to demonstrate a plan.
Right.
Like that way we know you're not going to be nothing against the Home Depot workers and all, but you don't want to be that guy standing in the corner of Home Depot,
right,
hoping to work that day.
Well, we'll use Alex as an example because he's a plumber. If
Turn your water off.
if
All right, hold on. Before you say that,
right,
Julian just responded.
Julian, what's up, buddy?
Brian for president.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Brian 2024.
Yes, I'm too young still. Oh, wait, 34, so 2 more years, Julian, I can run.
2 more years.
Julian, first things first, thank you.
Yes, Julian,
Yes,
the wine is amazing, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
More like a year.
Yeah, a year and a week, yeah.
2 more years.
Year and a week. Because you're a plumber and that's your trade, so say you tried to apply for citizenship in the United Kingdom. Well, they might not need a plumber. They probably have enough. So now you can't get citizenship because of that.
I don't think it's about the fact that your craft is what your craft is. Again, it looks better for you to have a plan. So just say in order for you to become a citizen, they have to ask you, what is your plan? What are you coming here for? If you have something to say, it looks a lot better on paper than for you to say, well, I don't know. I want to see what my options are. Maybe I'll get into this. Because what's going to happen is most people are going to think, if you can't find that, you're going to have to go the other direction. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to get involved with crime because you have to make ends meet. Rather than you coming here having a plan, you have a craft, you've been doing this in your country, now you're here, fine. We'll accept it. First time you mess up, now you have to come back here and you have to, make us feel like you need to be here.
But at that point, we also have to be more accepting of people's plan.
Right.
If somebody comes here and says, I want to work the fields. This is my plan. I want to work the fields. I want to start here doing labor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You have the plan.
Right.
You're willing to do it, and we know you're here for that.
Right.
Well, and that's the other reason why we offer visas and green cards.
Right.
So you can do that.
Right.
But even
And
so-
that's the basis. That's the start. And that's the start of the process of
I mean,
becoming a citizen.
Was your mom's intention when she came to this country to always be a nurse?
Yes.
Was she
So
doing
she had
that
a plan.
before she came here?
Yes.
So she had a plan.
Exactly.
So that makes sense. Then.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people that just want to start here. Like, they don't have a plan yet, but then, I don't have a plan, but I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do in the meantime.
But that's what makes
I'm going
America
to find a
amazing.
position to
But
go.
you got to think about it this way too. If you were a business owner, right? Guy came in your job, had no type of experience. What do you want to do? I don't know. Whatever I could do. Second interview, guy comes in. What do you have experience in? Nothing. What do you want to do? Whatever you need me to do. You're going to hire that guy because he's open to doing certain things. He might have some experience in some field that you can use, but the fact that he's willing to do something
Yep.
without being asked, that's a better look than somebody coming here saying, well, I'm good with my hands, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll do plumbing. I don't know if I'll do housing or anything like that, or landscaping.
So yeah, when the excuses start flying, in other words.
Right. So you want to you'd rather it just looks better with a person coming in with a plan than for you to guess. Because at the end of the day, me personally, me being myself, if I look at a person like that, I'm automatically gonna think, if this doesn't work, where is your mind going?
Well, it's a good thing you're not a boss.
No,
I'm your boss.
Yeah, in your dreams. All right, so I
I'm
have.
glad neither of them are my boss.
Well, it's like I said,
If I was your boss, you have weekends off hand. Because I
If
like
I
your
was in any
answers.
other job, I'd have weekends off.
Not in America.
All right, so the last topic I have is a very serious topic. I know that we usually like to keep things light and funny, but the last topic is about suicide. I've said in the first podcast, my brother committed suicide here in my home, and I know the implications that it had on me. And I know that recently we had training at our job, Glenn and I, about potential suicide in gun ranges.
Right.
I know it's kind of a hard topic to talk about. It's a little bit morbid of a topic to talk about, but I think it's something that needs to be brought to the light as well.
Right.
And people need to talk about hard topics like this. I know we talked about a little bit that it's something that you can't ever prepare for.
Right,
and I know
yeah,
our
no.
job wants us to be 100% prepared 100% of the time. You can't.
Nah. Because your mind constantly wonders, what made you do that? You're thinking about that person. What made that person do that? And then you're also thinking, well, why wasn't I reaching out to this person? Why wasn't I talking to them to figure out or see if I see different signs? Your mind's automatically going to do that because you don't understand what was going on through their mind.
Right. And I think, I don't know about you, Dan, because you were here for that whole experience with Frank as well. I question that a lot.
I do too.
Like, what did we do something wrong?
And I agree with you on that 100%.
Because when we look back at Frank's life, he wanted to be a psychologist to help people with this problem.
Right.
And that's what it completely blindsided the two of us. I know it did for me. I'm not going to speak for you too, but
Even to this day, walking by his room, just
I mean, if anybody has experienced that kind of situation, we'd love to hear from you about it. I know it's a tough topic, and I'm sure it's very emotional for a lot of people. It's emotional for me.
and also if anyone knows anybody that's going through this or has that tendency, at the end of the stream we will have the prevention hotline number available for everyone.
And talk to us too, because
Yeah,
we'll try our. I mean, we're not
That's what this
professionals.
speakeasy is for.
We're not professionals, but
We're an ear.
we're an ear to talk to. I know because of COVID, people are tending to think that they can't do it anymore.
Right.
They can't handle
Right.
it. So talk to us on the Speakeasy. If we can help you, we'd love to be able to try. We're not
Definitely.
professionals. Please don't think we're professionals,
Right.
but we're people, and we
Right.
know the struggles that you're going
We
through.
deal with everyday life every day.
Right.
I think not in a negative way, but a lot of times a gift is a curse. A person that wants to be in that kind of field, it's their gift. But it could also be your downfall mentally, is because you may have certain things in your mind that you don't understand, and it just makes it harder for you to deal with certain things. And you feel like people are not going to understand. If I come to you with this, are you going to judge me for it? Are you going to understand what I'm saying? So you're afraid, to speak. So you can't be afraid. You have to put out there what you're feeling, what you're thinking,
Right.
and get feedback from it. Because you might have a person that could relate to the things that you might be going through,
Right,
and just hearing it.
And I have a feeling that's what Frank couldn't do with us, because Frank was an openly gay man in a gay relationship who, did things that we didn't know about.
Right.
As a family, we didn't know.
Right.
We only found out after his death.
Right.
And I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want to, if his family's watching, I don't want to put that on blast. Frank, by the way, is not blood related to me in any way. He was just my best friend for 10 years and lived in my house for 10 years. And you would never know that.
Right.
You would never know that, because Frank was the kind of person that always wanted to fix people.
Right.
And I think that, like you said, that could have been his eventual downfall.
Right.
That he just couldn't fix it. And
you felt like you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish.
Right.
But that goes back to, even if you compare that to Robin Williams, a person that lived to make people smile and laugh, a happy person, and you would never think that person would do something like that.
Well, a lot of comedians say that comedy is based on depression.
Right. Your pain is laughter.
Right.
Mike, you were going to say something?
On that one too, it's if you are going to be here for other people. I know everyone wants to be here, everyone wants to be the face. And I'm sorry if this is kind of cutting into the mood a little bit, but it sounds harsh, but don't let it get too personal to you. Because if you make it, yes, you're there for them, but if you make it your pain, it's not you taking their pain from them and adding it to yours, because it builds up.
Yeah, it does.
Right,
it does.
right.
Absolutely.
You're there to help them through theirs, not take it onto yourself.
Right.
Right. You have to. It's like keeping work at work and home at home.
That's exactly what it is. And
because it's little things. I'm glad you said that. It's little things like person going through whatever they're going through. You might have things that bother you that you put on the back burner, but somebody piling something on that you didn't even think about just might make you think like, wow, I didn't even think about that.
Right.
But the fact that you're open to hearing a problem, you need to be able to vent. If you can't talk to yourself in the mirror, the man in the mirror, you have another ear that can just hear it. We might not have the answers for it, but just the fact that you're able to get it off your chest may help. But we're open to that. We're open to whatever we could possibly do to make
Right, but do you think society is open? The average person?
It depends.
Or do people look at it, it's like your problem, I don't want to
I got
fucking
my
hear
own
it.
problem, so yeah.
Right.
It just depends on the person. It depends on us. I come to you about certain things. You, Dan, we talk every day, multiple times a day. We laugh, we joke, we go back and forth. But when it comes to a serious issue, we're always there.
Right.
You don't tell me, well, nah, I don't know anything about it. You got to talk to somebody else. You'll hear it and you'll give me a suggestion. And that little peace of mind is just like, wow, I thought I was in the slum. I thought I wasn't going to make it out of this, but I didn't know this person was here for me. Just the fact that you have somebody in your corner.
But is it the kind of thing where that person has to want help as well?
I don't think you necessarily have to want help, because some people don't know that they have the help. You might have somebody that you think is going to judge you or say this or tell somebody else, but that person might give you the answer that just make you say, you know what, I'm going to go on tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And society's getting a lot better with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
You look back 20, 30, 40 plus years ago, it's been very much lock it up, lock it down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now we're kind of starting to realize, and this is going to take a couple of years for it to really grow in, this next group of kids here to really fully reintegrate it. But it's getting to the point where people are more comfortable being open there.
Right.
Yeah, it used to be the stigma where men can't cry.
Right.
Because you look like you're weak.
Right.
And I think that whole stigma's gone now.
Everybody
honestly.
goes through things. Like just say like this. Like I said, a gift and a curse. COVID is a gift and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
A gift because we all became closer. People that have been going out, going to clubs, going to parties, are not able to do that. Now they're home, spending time with a person or family, and they're talking more. You got people that's long distance, like your relationship there. You're home, so you're able to actually talk like that. Before COVID, you might have been at work all the time, not able to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it could possibly bring you together. So it's a gift and a curse.
Glenn,
I agree with that.
He's still at work all the time.
I work more now than I was when COVID started.
But again, that also comes down with responsibility too. That comes down to responsibility.
Right.
And that's actually something else that we don't really see nowadays is, people not taking claim for something either way.
Right.
Just pass the blame.
Well, I look at it this way. Do I think that I could have saved Frank's life? Probably not. I don't know about you, but I don't think I could have done anything to save his life.
No.
I think he would have, if he really wanted to help, he would have came. Knowing him, he would have came to us.
And he would come to us for anything.
Yeah, literally everything. So
he'd also give you the shirt off his back if it was the last shirt he owned.
And well, it's also because he liked to be topless, but that's a different story. But I know it's a serious topic, and I know we like to keep things lighthearted and funny and joke around a lot. But things like this are something that I think that needs to be discussed as well,
especially now,
because it's real, especially now in this day and
yeah.
age. It is real. So if you are feeling low, or if you're feeling like you can't handle anymore, please, we're going to leave the suicide prevention hotline number at the end of the show.
Right.
Give them a call. You're worth it.
Right.
Everybody has value, and you have value.
You guys have our email. You got plenty of ways to contact
leave us a message on Twitter.
Definitely. We get back to anything and everybody. We joke around. Maybe you need to laugh. Maybe you need to talk to somebody serious. We have that dynamic to where you can actually have any type of thing. If it's a matter that bothers you, we take that serious.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you just want to vent, you want to talk about what's going on at home, we're open to all of that kind of stuff because it's an escape. It's a sweet escape, so to say.
Right.
You need to be able to have that avenue to where you can vent. Some people bottle stuff up, and that one little thing could just snap and make you go over the edge. But it's not the answer. The answer is to be able to express yourself. Be yourself and express yourself. That's really all it comes down to. And we're open to all of that. I'm myself. You guys, you joke on my shirts and whatnot, even though they're beautiful.
They are worth. They are.
And they definitely break cameras.
It was a fingerprint. But yeah, there's always, everybody has someone. You just have to be able to.
Whether you go to your mom, your dad, brother, sister, partner, whoever.
Best friend.
Right.
Best friend,
Most of you guys that view this don't know us from a can of paint, but you're going to get to know us, and that's what this whole podcast is about. To speak easy is like a family. Like, I look at these guys like my brothers. We talk, except for this bastard over here. But yeah, we talk, and we talk about things that we probably wouldn't even tell anybody.
Yeah, and that's why we added into the subtext that we talk about life, and this is part of life.
Right.
It's the sucky part of life, but it is still part of life.
Right. It's the fact that we can talk about it. You don't bottle it up and you think about it in your head. What happens with a mind is when it's idle, it feeds on itself. So when you think about something, your mind is automatically going to think negative things because you're putting the seed there for that to happen. But if you're hearing an outside opinion about it, it's opening to the positivity.
It can break the chain.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's definitely needed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also how you can know who your true friends are, too.
Right.
If you have a group of friends and you can't trust them with things like that.
If you feel like you're going to be judged, that's not the people you want to be around. You want to be around people that's going to elevate you and make you think outside the box.
And honestly, I think in today's, with certain people in today's society, that nobody really judges people like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hope they don't. If they do, shame on them.
Right.
There's always the one asshole.
Oh, yeah,
there's always a one asshole.
That's the person that's not comfortable in their own skin that does
right.
that.
They're the ones who probably need to talk the most, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can also testify to this. I wasn't all big on potentially streaming and whatnot, but just being around Mike enlightened me to that. And the fun of it.
Yeah, I never ever thought in my wildest dreams that I would ever be on camera. I'm not exactly what you would call photogenic.
But you became comfortable in your skin.
Hours setting up your shit.
Right. And it's crazy because this whole setup, we all came up collectively. Everybody had their own input and ideas, and we all came to an agreement. Right. I think one thing, and I say, I don't know how that'll look. We put it together, and this is what you get, a little piece of all of us.
Right.
And that's what
look back at the first video.
Right.
Look back at the first video and look back to now. Look at the difference.
We all knew we wanted to be great, and we want to take everything to the next level, which is why the camera might have looked a certain way last time. We saw that and we critiqued it. That last episode was just for us to be able to say, what do we need to change now?
Right.
And that's what we are now.
If you see something in the speakeasy that you think needs to be changed, throw it on our Twitter, throw it on the live feed, throw it in the comments, and we'll take a look at it.
Right.
We'll replay the video and take a look at it.
Definitely.
Eventually, because Mike's over there and he has no microphone right now, we're getting another cord for our guests.
Yep.
I have one, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties.
Right, because we're also new though.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're learning as we go along also.
Yep.
So Bear with us.
We're doing tons of research just to see what we could possibly do as far as the sound. If the sound is better than it was last week for the guys that were here or women that were here last week, let us know what we're set on, what is good, what we should stick with, and
again,
what should change.
Cigar ideas, liquor ideas,
Right.
everything.
Yep.
Ideas for topics, whatever you suggest, we will definitely at some point, if not the very next stream, do that.
Yep. All suggestions.
Because we would love to have it where you guys give us enough topic points that we could just do a fan base conversation,
right,
and just answer y'all's questions,
right.
And eventually we'll have a Discord set up and everything too, so there'll be a constant communication
and
going around.
I don't know if you guys are with it, but if they have a suggestion for like maybe police officers, military, or anybody like that would want to come on the show, sit down with us, and talk.
Well, I know that we have a couple people lined up that were our former Marines, even though there's no such thing as a former Marine. A Marine's a Marine for life.
Right.
We're trying to get them on the show. I know a lot of people from our job want to come on the show, and we welcome them. And I mean, I hope I get somebody on the show that has difference of opinion than me.
Oh yeah, of course.
I want somebody who is a diehard Democrat to sit in that chair and debate me. I do.
Because it might make you think different.
Exactly.
About things.
Exactly. Because you know what? I look at things from a very, very, very radical right point of view.
Right.
Yeah, right left. a right point of view. But there are some things that I agree with the left with, and they're very few and far in between.
Now,
but I would love somebody to sit there and be like, okay, defend Nancy Pelosi, defend Joe Biden.
Right.
Please challenge me on it, because I would love that.
Right.
I would love that. And nobody's going to come and browbeat anybody and bully them, because we're very much against that shit.
Right.
We want your
dialogue.
opinion. It's a dialogue, exactly. And everybody's entitled to their own opinions. And that's what I can't wait for. I can't wait for this platform to blow up even more on our road to 100.
Ash, get us to 100.
Yeah, let's get
Please.
that road to 100 going, so we can and get more stuff, get more topics going too.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
And by the way, when they say we are making Discord, they're saying that I'm going to be setting up for them because they don't know how. So.
That's correct. I can barely spell Discord.
Usually when they're talking about we and something techy, they're usually talking about me. So
I don't even know how that shit works, honestly. So
I don't know nothing.
you want to stop blowing that flame in my damn ear?
You felt that heat? I'm sweating over here from that lighter.
All I hear in my damn ear.
Use your lighter. Let's hear what that sound makes.
Fuck off.
Exactly.
Well, why do I have a feeling someone's going to end up here with, what is it, the boring equipment, the flamethrower?
I'm gonna have to get a flamethrower now.
not
Yeah.
a flamethrower.
Yep.
Just one of those kitchen torches where I can.
A brush burner.
All I heard in here was.
And I had it right in front of the mic too. Shout out to JRs for the lighter.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And now, please, give us recommendations. We have a list of stuff that we can go to, but we would prefer to try the ones you give us.
Right. You guys are the viewers. We have our ideas, but an outside view of it.
And if you disagree with any of us, let us know.
definitely, we don't mind that. We're
No,
not.
to give you an idea, I'm
closed-minded.
going to give a suggestion right here, right now. Brian, you got to dress better.
Ooh.
Your shirt and shorts are the same pattern, and they match the wall. Come on, man.
Picnic basket.
You're front and center. You got to stand out a little.
All
Wear
right.
a pink shirt or something.
All right.
Exact-
All right.
It's purple.
All right.
And tie next week.
All right. No problem. I can do that.
Oh wait, you gotta dress up for your birthday.
Oh yeah, I want to see you in a
No,
tux.
no. Oh, okay.
Tux with no shirt.
Tux with no
Tux
shirt.
with no shirt.
So it's just pure Chippendales in me.
Yes, and I want.
I look like Chris
I want
Farley.
them to be ankle high pants too. At that.
I'm gonna look like Chris Farley back when he did SNL's Chippendales.
Hey, I like it.
I don't.
Whole different direction I thought that was going, but okay.
Even the food. Give us suggestions for different things that we should try, because we're all scratching our head on what we should cook next. Although you do the cooking.
And
Damn
I can
right.
tell you all right now, excellent.
I wouldn't know. They didn't feed me
I got food for you upstairs. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
yet.
And keyword,
and the
yet.
sauce. I can't wait to go get some chicken. Matter of fact, when I leave here, chicken.
You know whose sauce? Hot sauce I want to try? I want to try Mike Lynch from Wings.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. What is Black Powder Mill
Yep.
hot sauce? I definitely want to try that out.
Definitely.
They got tons of different sauces too.
Mm-hmm.
So
You guys want to end it here?
I think that's a good. I think we But how long have we been on stream
Final
for
questions,
now?
comments, remarks.
how many people in the chat?
Almost
Dan?
3 hours.
Oh my goodness!
Does anyone have any questions for us before we sign off? We'll give you all a minute.
Yep.
In the meantime, you use the Brian singing the freaking whatchamacallit?
No.
Jeopardy song.
Do 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 do.
How many people in there, Dan?
Can't wait to hear that.
I can't really say.
Alex, how many people we got in the chat right now? All right. Well, thank you all for joining us
Thank
too.
you. And that shows
Taking the
progress.
time out of your day.
That definitely shows progress. What we were at last week, like 4 or 5,
We peaked at 7.
7.
Hmm.
One more than last week. I'll take it.
Well, I'm right here, so
You're not.
I was one of those 7.
You should have had your phone running.
Give you viewership.
Yes.
You're not gonna look like I'm a nice guy or something.
It sounds as good as you think on here.
But I will definitely say this, again, we are open to all your opinions, Mike. We do appreciate you
Yes.
definitely.
jumping
Thank
in
you.
last
Thank
minute.
you for
Definitely.
being our last
Thank
minute
you.
guest.
And,
Thank you.
Next time we'll have a microphone that works for you.
Yeah.
and next time it'll be Alex sitting here.
I think not.
Well, see, Alex is going to be here. He's just going to be behind the camera helping us
He's
out with
basically
shit.
like our director /
Yeah.
producer at this point.
Yep.
/ plumber.
Except he doesn't know how to direct
Slash
or
plumber.
produce.
And again.
Cassandra, thank
Absolutely.
you so much for that.
Yes, thank
we
you.
love it. We're
Shout
gonna
out
be
everybody from Reloaders that tuned in. Everybody that didn't get a chance to tune in, shout out to you too. But again, we will be having apparel made.
soon.
We just got to figure out the logistics of it and everything. And
And Julian, if you're still watching, thank you again for that bottle.
Love you, Bobby.
Babacito, the Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
If you're watching, thank you. Pete,
And then you're still up.
Shout out Frankie, and Tamer as well. Gabe, Chris. Who we missing? Omar,
Tyler,
Skip, Brandon.
do you guys need like a pen and piece of paper to like have a checklist on this?
Basically.
Right now?
There's a lot of.
Pull up the page so we can see all the RSOs. Oh, and John, congratulations on re-enlisting into the Army. Thank you
Definitely.
for that. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you for fighting for our freedom.
Yes, and staying with it. You know, you
Hopefully, you
went
stay
through hard times
safe.
getting back in there. but thank
Liliana,
God.
let's
Oh, yeah.
let's
Shout out
mention Lily because she will be joining the Marine Corps at the end
Shout
of the
out
month.
Jen. Thanks for subscribing. Chloe, Eric.
We can't name the entire Reloader store.
Shout out Reloaders.
So
After he's done
Lily,
going
good
down the
luck.
roster.
Good luck with the Marine Corps. Stay safe. We'll be thinking about you while you're off training, probably at Paris Island.
Yes.
And Mike, Alex, shout out to you guys.
Yes, thank
Helping
you
us
both
out.
very
Thank
much.
You guys came clutch. We definitely appreciate it.
Anytime.
And I know you guys do because it's clear now. And I'll see what kind of shirt I can come with next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be some funky shit, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
One of these days, he's going to come up with something, and that's just going to light on fire in
week,
that
It might
chair.
be mesh.
You know what? You're gonna show up in just a plain white T-shirt.
You think I can forget a whole leather outfit?
You'll break the internet if you come in just with a plain white shirt.
I'm going to save that for the 100. The 100 is going to do it.
All right, added to that. 100th subscriber
The
episode.
100, we're going to get a really good cigar for the 100.
All right. Well, if you have any suggestions, guys, on a
Definitely.
really really good cigar,
Definitely.
And
let us
Glenn's
know.
gonna be paying for all.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, well, no one's has responded in the chat.
That's
so
all right. That's all
We'll
right.
I
get to it.
guess-
Even if you send it after the live ends, email us, whatever you want to do to get in contact with us. Who guys from work, you see us, let us know.
Hey, even comment on the video afterwards. I've been actively viewing it and responding
We
as
all
best as I
have.
can.
We all have.
Yep.
I've been cursing Dan out in comments.
And that he has. That he has.
All right, folks.
This has been the Up and Smoke podcast. My name is Dan.
I'm Brian.
Glenn.
It was a pleasure having you all join us tonight.
Y'all have a good night.
And
Amen.
Stay safe. God bless.
Also, keep in mind that suicide prevention hotline number is going to be up on screen for about another 5 more minutes after we end. Okay?
God bless everybody.